Hello everyone and welcome to this brand new live webinar, the 7 steps to make over $10,000 per month online. If you can hear me okay and see me okay on the webcam, please go ahead and let me know in the chat box. Just say, hello James, nice to see you, whatever you want to say, and let me know where you're from in the world as well, as we have people joining us from all over the world right now, including America, most of Europe like the UK, Ireland, Germany, Italy. We also have New Zealand, Australia as well, so please let me know in the chat that you can hear me okay, just so we know that the audio is working as it should, so you get to receive all the goodies in this live free training. Alright, so we've got flooding in here, so thank you all for attending. It's a pleasure to be able to share this incredible stuff with you on this live session. And we have Derek here, we have John, we have Laurie on the east coast of the US, and tons more as well. Awesome, great. So in terms of questions, if you do have any questions, please feel free to use that same chat box as we go through today's live session. I will be answering questions every now and again just to avoid stopping starting every 2 minutes, right? Just so I've got some flow to the content I'll be sharing with you today. And not to mention, of course, we have the incredible announcement about my retirement later in this session as well, which I'm sure you are interested to hear more about. Maybe it affects you, maybe it doesn't, but either way, I really can't wait to share that stuff with you. It is going to be life-changing for you, as I will be sharing all of my secrets in this session and moving forward as well. All right, so let's begin. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen like so. Share entire screen. I want to share the sound and optimize for video. There we go. So you should now see the slides that I have prepared, very professionally I might add, for this live stream. So you should be able to see it right now on the screen. Please turn up your speakers. You won't be able to hear me saying this, right? But turn up your speakers. That's my impression of miming to turn up your speakers, right? So please go ahead and do so. Make sure you can hear me okay. I recommend grabbing a pen and some paper to take notes with, as I will be sharing a lot with you on this session, and you may want to take some notes to ask questions about later, or even just to refer back to when you're implementing this stuff for yourself to get some results, aiming for the end of the week, right? The stuff I'm going to be sharing with you is all actionable stuff. It's stuff you can take away and get results from. Learned from over the last 17 years of doing this stuff every single day, making over $100 million collectively for my students, customers, and clients, and of course making several $1 million for myself personally as well, which is one of the reasons I'm able to retire, which we'll talk about later in this session. So let's begin. Now, I'm going to show you in this live session the 7-step process we've been using to take complete beginners, i.e. people who have nothing online whatsoever. They come to me and say, James, I have literally nothing. I don't even know what niche I want to go into. And we take them from that point, from zero to making over $10,000 per month online, selling low-priced digital products, okay? So this is not for you if you want to sell high-priced masterminds, or you want to do stuff on Amazon, or sell your grandma's underwear, like anything other than selling low-priced digital products. This is not for you. But if you are interested in selling low-priced digital products, which anybody can do, let's face it, anybody can sell a $7, $10, $27, even a $50 product, because they are so much easier to sell compared to something higher priced. And maybe that's what's been holding you back up until now. Maybe you've seen my stuff about selling online courses and thought, yeah, this is too much for me. I'm not an expert. I don't have the authority to be able to sell something like that, even though you can build that over time. Maybe that's been in the back of your head. So I'm going to share with you how you can do that, along with the most profitable niches to go into right now, why giving away free stuff is the best thing you can do to make a profit online. So if you're worried about feeling overly salesy or slimy like a salesperson, this is why I love selling low-priced digital products, because you give away stuff for free to begin with, and then you upgrade them into a paid low-priced offer, which is far easier to do, which requires far less selling than it would do selling something paid right off the bat. That would be the equivalent of walking into a bar, asking somebody to marry you on the first date, right? It's just like a big ask from the very first interaction. So this is why we'd start off with something for free, and we'll dive into this in much more detail very soon in this session as well. And of course, the proven way to get started when you are not an expert, have zero tech skills, and nobody knows who you are, which is most likely your situation if you're attending this right now. And also how to create best-selling products without creating the content yourself. If you're thinking, James, I don't have a digital product to sell, stay tuned. I'll be showing you how you can get them created for you for pennies on the dollar or even free, okay? Also, how to position yourself above the competition and avoid niche saturation. So if you're worried about things being too saturated nowadays or too competitive for you to stand out in the marketplace, this is really going to help you. Also, how to avoid and overcome information overload and end any lack of results instantly. Plus, announcing my retirement plan at the very end and why I'm sharing all my secrets with nothing held back. You know, I usually do that anyway. I usually share and over-deliver anyway, but now it's a case of like, I don't really care. I'm just going to give you everything I've learned because, you know, I'm retiring from that, right? So, much more as well. If you can see on the right side of the screen when this slide first opened, it scrolled down those sales figures. Those are just a spreadsheet or whatever of our income every single month. So you know this stuff is consistent. I want to show you some more proof as well, but typically, especially our American viewers, like to see the income proof of why you should listen to me rather than listening to somebody who's been around for 2 months and they've made about $1,000 or $2,000 and think they are a guru, right? So I'm going to share with you everything that I've actually done myself. It's not going to be theory, it's stuff which has actually worked right now, okay? So if you are not familiar with me on that topic, hi, I am James. Nice to meet you. Very quickly here, I am a world travel enthusiast. I love traveling. In fact, we're going to Denver this month in a few weeks. And of course, we're going to Europe. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know I've been excited for this trip. I'm going to be going to Spain, Italy, the UK, visiting my parents and family and so on, plus a few other places as well. It's going to be fun. And I love that kind of stuff. And having this online business allows me to do that kind of stuff while still earning an income, which is incredible. Also, I am a family man. I don't have kids. There are no plans just yet. I guess it's not on the cards just yet, but who knows in the future, right? And right now we have my beautiful wife, Michelle, and also my dog, Oscar, and my cat, Frida, as well. So I love having family time with them. I am an extroverted introvert. So by nature, I am an introvert. I love, just sitting on the couch, playing video games, watching series with my wife, Michelle, and my boys, the dog and the cat. But then when I'm working, I have to be extroverted. I have to be able to present on camera like this to be able to help people around the world like yourself. So I've learned to become an extroverted introvert. I'm also a restaurant lover as well, especially Italian, sushi, steak restaurants, you name it. I am a restaurant connoisseur. I am also an outdoors fanatic as well. I love exploring nature, going hiking, things like that. Also, I'm an ice cream connoisseur as well. I love nothing more than, chocolate fudge brownie ice cream, Oreo milkshakes, that kind of thing. And this one doesn't really fit in with the rest of them, but I'm a multiple seven-figure online business owner with over $100 million, that is not a typo, but over $100 million collectively in student success stories around the world. And this is very difficult to track, by the way, so it might even be more than this, right? But this is, what I've experienced through the years, and it's pretty easy to rack up those kind of success stories when you've been going for as long as I have. Over 17 years now, coming close to 18, which is awesome. But things weren't always this way. Here is the struggle story of how I got started to relate to you. Maybe you feel like you are in the same position and maybe that will help you to feel more connected with me and so on, right? But here we go. So this is making my micromanaging boss rich. I was once, working in Morrison's, as you can see right there in the image on the slides. That is the place I used to work. I actually went back there driving a Lamborghini when I had that in England, when I was living in England. And I went back to where I used to work and basically reminded myself of where I came from, which was incredible to do. But when I was working there, it was just so stressful having to take orders from somebody else. I felt like they were just, giving me orders and I had no choice but to do them. And I hated that mindset. I did not want to live the rest of my life taking orders from people. And that created a whole load of anxiety and frustration around that, but also around money as well, because I wasn't paid that that much at all. In fact, it was minimum wage, which does not go very far. Fortunately, I was only, in college at this point, so I didn't have, massive bills, but equally I wanted to have my own place. I didn't want to live with my parents for the rest of my life or, live in student housing and so on. It was terrible. And essentially I was living for the weekend. I did not like my, Monday through Friday. I was just thinking, okay, only 2 more days until Saturday, only 1 more day until Saturday, and I can finally enjoy my life. So I was living a great portion of my life unhappy, which is what I believe not to be a good way to live. Also, I was feeling a disconnect from where I wanted to be. I knew that I was destined for something better than what I was currently doing at that point in time. And there was that weird feeling like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm meant for bigger and better things, Also, I was so tired of other people controlling my life, whether it was my parents, my friends just being toxic with me, but also my boss and, superiors at my job as well, or even my co-workers. I just wanted to get away from that corporate kind of lifestyle or the 9-to-5 life. I also wanted to avoid feeling unfulfilled as well. It was not fulfilling stacking bread and cakes on shelves in a grocery store or supermarket. So I just wanted to do something better, which would make me feel happier about my contribution to society. Okay. Also, I was constantly exhausted and constantly burned out. In fact, I would even have nightmares about working there and having to go to my 9-to-5 and then also to college. And I was just constantly doing stuff every single day, all day long. And I was totally just jam-packed with that's a British phrase, right? But it totally filled up day. I had no time for myself, and I didn't have time to live my life, hence why I was always looking forward to the weekend. So I wanted to get away from that. But then I discovered the method that changed everything for me. It literally changed my life. Imagine you have a couple of points in your life where you have those decisions where when you make the right decision, it can change the trajectory of your life completely. And you end up with a far better situation than you could ever dream of because of one choice, and one choice can make a big difference. So after trying a bunch of methods that didn't work for me, including affiliate marketing, Amazon stuff, drop shipping stuff, posting blog articles, maybe you remember that, writing on e-zine articles way back in the day, I discovered the world of digital products and courses. Okay, now all I did was create a digital product which helps people to achieve a desirable outcome. So it's not just giving them something and hoping for the best. It should actually help them in some way, just like helping a friend. They come to you and say, James, I'm struggling with this issue. Can you help me? Or could you give me some advice? And you're literally doing that, but with a digital product. You're simply handing it to them, and that's the solution, right? And then you sell that over and over and over again. No shipping costs, no storage costs. You don't need to create the new product every single time because it's already created. You're simply selling something that already exists in the digital world, okay? So creating and selling my own digital product, even though I wasn't an expert, way back then I was just a kid in college, right? That allowed me to do a few things, including help an unlimited number of people at the same time, without trading time or effort for money with one-on-ones, i.e. it was scalable. If you are familiar with one-on-one consulting or doing work for people as a freelancer, you will know that you can only take on so many new clients or customers at a time before you start to hit a threshold or a plateau where you simply don't have any more time available in your schedule unless you want to be working 16 hours a day, right? So you reach a point where you think this is not sustainable, and I didn't want to fall into that trap, so that's why I started selling digital products. Also, I was making sales passively every single day, 24/7, 365 days a year. It's not like we have a close-up shop, like a physical store might have to, but with us, it's an online venture. Everything's open 24/7, 365 days, right? I was making sales even when I wasn't working because of the automation we set up in the background, which again, I'll be sharing with you on this live free training. I could also be anywhere in the world as well. This allowed me very early on to work from Italy for a couple of months and also go on a bunch of vacations and just enjoy life while making sales. And again, I'm not sharing this to brag. I know a lot of people do that and look how great I am. I'm sharing this in the hopes that you may have similar goals so you know that it's possible when you do the right things. Okay, perfect. So since then I have become financially free, ranging between 30k to 100k plus per month, depending on which promotions we're running at the time and other things as well. Christmas, for example, I usually take about 3 or 4 weeks off. So, it does vary, of course, but that's the average. And we have a very good profit margin of around 60 to 80%, depending on the offer. We also helped my wife become financially free as well. She was able to quit her job working at American Express, and she now just looks after the household. She does her own thing with her video game streaming. She's really enthusiastic about video gaming, so she does her own thing, and she would not have been able to do that if I wasn't able to provide for her, which is awesome. Also, I work 1 to 3 hours per day on average. Just lately, it's been a little bit more due to a few things I'll mention later in this session, but on average, just a few hours a day with a 4-day work week. My wife and I typically go for a half day on a Friday, and we typically go for lunch somewhere like Sushi, Cheesecake Factory, Dave & Buster's, which is an arcade here in America, and so on and so on. So I live a good life, basically. Again, I've traveled the world. I obviously grew up in the UK, hence my accent. Some people think it's Australian or New Zealand, but it is England. And I moved from the UK to Mexico City, and then from Mexico City, after a few years, where I met my wife Michelle, over to San Diego, which is where I live now in sunny California, which is an incredible place to live. One of the most expensive places in America to live, which is not great, but I wouldn't be able to live here once again without this online business. And also because of the visa. Being British, I didn't marry an American. I got the visa because of my online business. So everything fits together so nicely. It opens up so many opportunities for you if you do want to move overseas. Also, I've helped thousands of customers, in fact over 5,000 the last time I checked, and coaching clients as well, to change their life for the better by creating and passively selling their own digital product, totaling over $100 million in results. And these are just a few of them. I'm not going to go through all of them, but these are just a small selection you will find on our main website at digitalprosperity.com. So Foti and Amelia made $14,400 in the last 5 days. 17 months, Belinda made $452,000. Nico made $56,000. Todd made $41,000. Jason made over $10,000 a month. Jacob made his first 6 figures. And we have so many of these testimonials that we've gathered over the years. And to me, really, it's not just about making the money. It's about what the money can do for you, right? So for me personally, I'm a huge car enthusiast, as you can probably tell. So I hate to be, the guy with the Lamborghini. That's so cliche and whatever else. But I genuinely enjoy those things for the sound and the feeling when you're in there, not because it's like, oh, look at me, like some other people do, right? So I started with a BMW 3 Series when I was about 19 years old due to my online business. And then I upgraded to a Maserati Gran Turismo S, and then upgraded that to a Lamborghini Huracan when I was living in England, and now I drive a Corvette C8 here in San Diego, which is incredible, along with a Range Rover Velar as well, which are both white, which is kind of together they're kind of twins, right? Anyway, and then we also have friends, family, taking trips abroad, just living the best life, and I want that for you too. And this is again just an example of what's possible when you do the right things. And again, I'm showing this to you for you to imagine this for yourself. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine going away on vacation whenever you want to, wherever you want to, and not having to think, I can't afford it, or I don't have time, I can't get the time off work, and so on and so on, okay? Well, here's why now is the best time to start. If you're thinking, that sounds great, James, but now isn't the right time for me to do anything, which you may have been thinking for a while, but let's not get into that. The marketplace is only getting more and more crowded as new people find out about how lucrative this business model is. You may have seen this on social media, people posting reels and short videos about how lucrative digital products are. These guys are only just finding out about it, and it's been going since for the last 20 plus years. So people are slowly starting to become more and more aware of this, and it's only a matter of time before it becomes even more difficult and even more crowded. The longer you stayed glued to your email inbox inbox, looking for the next opportunity, looking for the next magic bullet that's going to solve everything overnight, the more overwhelmed you will feel, and the less chance you have of actually taking action and achieving your goals, because you just become paralyzed by the analysis, right? Paralysis by analysis is a real thing. It's like you look at all these different things and you just do nothing because you don't know where to start. And hopefully I can solve that for you on this training. And the sooner you start, the sooner you will start making money. Obviously, if you would have started a year ago, you'd be making 6 figures by now. Let that sink in. So what about next year? Are you going to think the same thing next year? Or is now the time to start? I think we can all agree now is the best time. So with that said, you might think, James, of course now is the best time, but there's a big stumbling block. I feel so overwhelmed, I don't even know where to start. There's so much to do, and that is the point of this training here. So I can give you a framework to focus on the right things. Okay, so where do I even start? And of course, how can I do this without it taking several years of time and effort, of trial and error, figuring stuff out the hard way, falling for all the scams, falling for all the stuff that doesn't work anymore, that people are trying to make a quick buck from, and it taking just a couple of weeks or months instead of a couple of years or decades, okay? If you remember me way back in the day when I had long hair, you've been thinking about this for way too long, okay? Because you could have been making 7 figures a year by now, right? It's crazy. So this is why I want to share this stuff in this free training. I'm going to be sharing with you the 7 steps to go from absolute zero, having nothing online, no idea whatsoever where to start, to making over $10,000 per month online with low ticket digital products. Okay, again, this is not for you if you want to sell high ticket stuff, if you want to sell stuff on Amazon, if you want to sell stuff on Etsy, if you want to make things with your hands, if you want to sell physical products in any kind of way, if you want to sell services, if you want to do freelancing work. This is specifically for you if you want a passive income strategy from low ticket digital products. Okay. And how do I know? Well, it's exactly what I did when I first got started from zero myself during the Great Depression of 2008. And I sound a bit old when I'm saying that, right? Back in my day, we had the Great Depression, which was a terrible economic situation. Pretty similar, not the same, but getting there to where we are in America right now, with the stock markets crashing and things like that due to various political things happening, which I won't get into. Some people are scared. Some people are thinking the economy is going to go down the toilet and we need to save money. That is not going to get you anywhere because your dollar will only be worth less. So you need to put something in place now where you can make money while others are losing it. Okay. Also, it's exactly what I'm doing right now, literally to this minute, to make 30K to 100K plus per month. And again, our best month ever was $112,000 in a month. And that's all down to what I'm going to teach you right now. It's also exactly what we've been doing for our ultimate done-for-you service clients over the last 5 years to make $100,000 for them. You may have seen me advertise this in the email newsletter every now and again before, and maybe you passed on it or maybe you're a part of it, but this is exactly what I'm teaching them and walking them through in that VIP service, which we'll get into as well. It's also exactly what my coaching clients are doing right now as well, to make over 10K plus per month. So not only are we doing this for people, we're also teaching it in our low ticket stuff and also to our coaching clients as well. So again, it's not theory, it's just because I already do this, okay? So let's get into the training. The first step of these 7 steps is the mindset. And when I say this, some people think, oh, James, that's obvious, right? But then they still make the same mistakes. So here I am having to explain it, so please pay attention, okay? How you mentally approach your online venture is the foundation of your success, okay? If you get this wrong, nothing else will work. You will stand in your own way, you will make the wrong decisions, you will doubt good decisions, and never put anything into action because you discount things before they even materialize, right? How many successful entrepreneurs do you see with limiting beliefs? Think about that. How many of them say, everyone else out there is broke, or I'm not going to get started right now because the economy is not great, or they think the economy is not great. As a reminder, America is not the entirety of the world. Not everybody's economy is tanking, okay? It's only a small part of the world, right? Even though when living in America, because it's such a big continent, you think, well, America's the whole world. It's not, okay? And also mindset issues as well, like, I'll wait until tomorrow. And then they do this again and again and again, and before they know it, 3 years have gone by and the opportunity has passed and they're back where they started, but worse off because they've lost all that opportunity. Okay. Now, the most important mindset trait you need to have is the ability to take action on opportunities immediately as they come along, rarely, and will unlock a better future. Okay. Now, I'm not just saying this as a marketer, I'm saying this as somebody who has done this stuff for 17 years. If I would have always thought, I'm going to think about it, I'm going to wait until the perfect time, which of course we all know doesn't exist, because there's always something in life that happens. As soon as the current situation is resolved, something else happens, and then something else happens, and then something else. And before you know it, again, 2 or 3 years have gone by and you've wasted the opportunity. Whereas if you'd just got started when you first had the idea, you'd be a millionaire by now, right? So it really is a big difference, and it does make a whole bunch of difference. And then you've got all the other layers of mindset as well around, like, perfectionism, opportunity cost of, imposter syndrome as well, thinking that you need to be some kind of incredible world-leading expert when you really don't. You just need to know more than the other person out there, which, if you think about it, when you were in school, you weren't learning physical education from an Olympic gold medalist, right? You were learning from a PE teacher who most of the time were not in shape themselves, from my experience, right? Maybe you can relate, but you just need to know more than the other person, and that is enough to make progress. It's bringing the other people up to where you are right now, considering the fact that most of the people are at complete zero with no knowledge and around your topic, which we can get to in a second in terms of the niche as well. Now, does that make sense so far? Let me know in the chat box. I'm going to go ahead and check the chat box just to make sure that I'm still alive, but also that this is all making sense so far. Let's have a look. So, so we've got yeses. S. Mia. Hi S, whatever your first name is this being recorded? I cannot stay for the whole event. Can I watch the recording later? So this is being recorded, but I do not have any plans to send the recording due to the sensitive nature of this session. Okay. So lots of yeses coming in as well. So I would love to just send the recording, but the reality is, again, sensitive nature of the stuff I'm going to reveal at the end. It's a time limited thing, and also I only want to reward action takers. If you can't sit through a webinar, then you probably aren't an action taker. Probably doesn't mean that much to you. Whereas also, whenever I send a webinar replay, people watch like 10 minutes and just bounce, and they don't watch the whole thing. They don't gain the value from it, and ultimately it's a big waste of everyone's time. So nowadays I've decided not to send webinar replays, only do live sessions. So the free content is the next thing as well. If my toolbar would disappear here, where is it? There it is, I think. Okay, it's not disappearing, so we are stuck with it, I think. That's annoying. So where are we? Yeah, never mind. It's not disappearing at all. So here we are anyway. So the free content is the next thing. So in the early 1920s, Kellogg's had to persuade a skeptical nation to give up their breakfast of bacon and eggs in favor of their new cereals. To do this, they gave away millions of sample packets of cornflakes and Rice Krispies, which maybe you've had them before, I think they're awesome, which later made Kellogg's a household name and a revenue of $12.74 billion as of the stats that we have in 2025. Okay, so they gave away free stuff and ended up making $12.74 billion from it. Right, and of course there's lots of other things here as well. But this is especially true in the information marketing world, or what we're doing here, as giving away value first not only feels great because we're helping people for free, but it also increases your sales as well. So here is some actual split test data we did from going straight to a sales video versus going straight to some free video training first and then over to a sales opportunity. Okay. So even though we had roughly 2,000 people go to both versions, we had 4 sales of the $497 product, which was roughly $2,000 going straight to a sales video, but we made an extra $1,000 by sending them to some free stuff first. Plus it felt awesome. It felt great to send people over to something for free instead of going straight to something paid, right? So this is just one of many examples we've tested and had and whatever else to show this to be true, So keep in mind that whenever you send people to something for free, it's not only easier to advertise because you're you're not asking such a big favor of them, like, hey, buy my stuff. It's like, whoa, go away. It can repel people if they don't know who you are, why they should listen to you. But also when you give them something for free first, it creates a nice relationship and also allows you to follow up with them, which is one of the later steps as well. And you can't do that if you send them straight to a sales video. And also, when you're advertising as well, it comes across much better on an ad platform, like get this free thing, instead of, hey, buy my stuff, and people scroll past it immediately. Okay, awesome. So it's super important to deliver value to people before you ask for anything in return. And this is a consistent theme. I'm doing this right now. Like, this is why I present these webinars. This is why I give away YouTube videos. This is why I over deliver in my paid programs and whatever else, because I want to over deliver and deliver value to people before I ask anything else, right? There's always some kind of opportunity for people to upgrade their commitment with us. But we always like to deliver value first, so people know, like, and trust you, and therefore you get better results. Instead of just, hey, buy my stuff, and people are like, why should I even bother listening to you, right? This way you lead with your best foot forward, and they want to buy instead of being forced into it. Okay, I cannot stress this enough. I'm just really emphasizing this because it is so important. If you try and think of the easiest way, it is literally driving traffic straight to a paid offer, to a sales video, sales page, whatever. Get an affiliate link, send traffic to it. It does not work nowadays because people are too jaded. I will say this again and again and again. You must send people to some free stuff first. Okay, awesome. Now, this should preferably be something valuable, which is easily consumed in one sitting. Not something they have to take home and go through over several days, because let's face it, they don't know who you are, therefore they don't place much importance on what you've given them, and therefore they won't do the work, therefore they don't know who you are, therefore they don't see your value, therefore they won't see what you have to offer. Okay? So I recommend offering a free PDF report, and this is so easy for them to consume in one sitting because they can just skim down the whole thing very quickly and gain some value from it. However, this could be a video, an audio interview, or anything similar. Okay. Now, with that in mind, does that make sense so far? I'm going to try again and make sure if we can get rid of this toolbar here, like so. So nobody asks about how they consider replay. So again, we've got some people complaining about there not being a recording. So why are you recording it then? Because I might change my mind. Okay, and also I like to deliver recordings to my coaching clients so they can watch through this as well. So talking about yourself for 25 minutes, really this is the structure of a presentation that sells a high ticket product at the end. So of course, if you don't like the presentation, you can always leave. But I'm here to justify why you should listen to me, because let's face it, most people don't walk the walk. They just talk the talk, and I've experienced that in the past myself. Okay, awesome. So with that in mind, let's continue. So this should probably be something valuable, which is easily, we've done that. So the next thing is step 3, which is lead acquisition. Okay, so lead acquisition is so important because you're not just giving them something for free, you are doing that in a way where it creates a good expectation of you and develops that authority status, that know, like, and trust factor. Okay, so if you send traffic straight to a paid offer, like we discussed, is a horrible thing to do. You lose that traffic forever. It's like they buy or they don't. Those are the only two options. Those are the only two outcomes. Okay, but if you send it to a squeeze page to acquire the lead or subscriber in exchange for your free content, then you have a much better chance at getting people to buy in the short term and the long term, because you can market to them multiple times. Okay, so you may notice that on my newsletter, I don't just sell one thing. I will sell one thing and then something else, depending on what people are asking me about. Hey, James, I'm struggling to create my course. Oh, we have something for that. James, can you build my business for me? Oh, I have something for that. If I didn't have people on my email list, I would not be able to do that. I would be constantly re-advertising to the same people, costing me more and more money. Whereas when you acquire them, you don't need to pay more money to acquire them again. You've already got them on your email list, and you can therefore follow up with them over time to not only deliver good value to them to help them, but also offer opportunities they can pick up if they want to. Okay, again, people are never forced into things, but you can always, make a decision on that. On average, I earn roughly $3 per active lead on my list per month. Okay, so think about that. The more subscribers you have, the more money you will make. Okay, most people earn around $1 per subscriber per month when they are active. Me personally, we've been doing this stuff a long time. We have various different opportunities and offers, and I only have an active list of people who open like every day of around 15,000 people. And that may sound like a lot, but in terms of doing this stuff for 17 plus years, it's not really that much compared to some of the people out there who don't do as good of a job as what I do in terms of the follow-up and the communication and so on. So again, without bragging, the total list size is over 250k. If you want the exact numbers, right? 250,000 people is a lot of people, but what matters most is the amount of active people who actually know who you are, right? So the larger and more responsive your email list is, the more money you will make while helping more people. Now, the squeeze page to acquire these subscribers does not need to be fancy. In fact, the simpler it is, the better. And here's an example of this right now. This is an actual squeeze page. We have literally just a nice background related to the outcome we're going to be promising in this free content. It's how to drop up to 2 clothes sizes. You could say dress sizes, but then that would be specifically for women. So we said clothes sizes to appeal to both genders. In your first month naturally, without starving yourself, eating rabbit food, and spending hours on the treadmill. So without doing the things they don't enjoy, basically. It's overcoming those objections or reasons why they wouldn't buy before they've even opted in, which will create a better experience after they've opted in because they're not expecting something bad to happen, okay? Now, sometimes you may see the email field hidden behind a little pop-up. So they click the button to get the thing, and then it's like, just tell us where to send it. And there'll be an email field with a submit button in the pop-up. Both of them work the same way. It's just sometimes they work better in some scenarios. Okay, for paid traffic, typically it's better to have it in a pop-up. But this is just an example, of course, in the weight loss niche. The beach is representing the imagery they have in their head of, imagine me being able to wear a bikini or swim shorts on the beach and not have to be self-conscious about the things I'm going through, and so on, right? So that's just an example. You're promising something for free, asking for their email address to get them on your email list where you can continue with the next steps, okay? And we're on to step 4 out of 7 now. I have tons of other stuff to share with you as well, but does that make sense so far? I did see the chat box lighting up here. I'm impressed. Thank you. I thought it was a recording. Yeah. Sometimes people do think this is like, even though I tell you over and over again, like this is an automated webinar. It's really not. Like, ask me something and you will see it's not automated because I'll respond to you. If I don't respond to you, it's because we have a bunch of different questions and I'll get to them at the end. Okay. But this is actually like a real thing. Okay. Hi James, this is great value, says Genesis. Thank you, Genesis. I really appreciate the kind words. Again, let me know. I'm here to answer anything along with at the end as well. We've got tons of stuff coming in, so if I don't respond to you, I'm not ignoring you, I promise. It's just we want to get through the content without it being a Q&A for the next 5 hours. Okay, so step 4 is the paid offer. So far we have got the mindset, we have got the free content, and we've got a way to acquire them into your audience. Like, you're building the audience from scratch, right? You don't need an audience to get started with. You build the audience while making sales. Some people think, I need to build the audience first, then you can start making money. No, you build the audience while making sales at the same time. This is why I love this approach, okay? Now, the paid offer is very important because for your online venture to make money, you need to sell a digital product, preferably, to somebody who wants it. Now, wants it is the key here, because I could say somebody who needs it. But somebody who needs something doesn't always necessarily want it. Somebody may be morbidly obese and may, the doctor tells them you need to lose some weight, otherwise you will not be here for very long, right? But if they don't want it, they're not going to do anything about it. Whereas if they want something, they will do it regardless, okay? So although not every paid offer that you promote is created equal, and just because something looks good, it does not mean it will sell well, as some sales pages will convert. That's a technical term in our industry, which basically means to sell well or better than others out there because of the copywriting, because of the graphics on the page, because of the marketing angles, or how compelling that offer is based on all those factors. So don't just promote something because you like the sound of it. Like, oh, that would be great. I wish I had that when I got started. Your thoughts, speaking as a marketer and as a coach, of course, right? Your thoughts are irrelevant when it comes to the offers you're promoting. We need to look at the data and the market. So do people in your audience, or I should say, do the majority of the people in your audience want what you're trying to sell to them? Okay, yes, they might need it, but do they want it? Is it compelling to them? And is the offer that you're trying to promote to solve that issue, to solve that problem, actually compelling to them? Does it have good copywriting? Does it have good unique methodologies? Does it have something which differentiates the offer from all the other ones out there? Is it a new intellectually stimulating idea, right? So it's always about what your prospects want, okay? Not what you want. And I've made this mistake before. Like I've said, I wish I could come out with a product around mindset, but it just wouldn't sell well because people like the more practical stuff like I'm giving you right now. So there we have it. So instead, always make sure your offer, whether it's your own or an affiliate offer, preferably your own for many reasons we'll go through shortly, has an EPC, which stands for earnings per click. In other words, if you send over 100 people to this offer, and that offer makes you $100, one divided by the other is $1, right? So each person on average that you've sent over has made you $1. Not, it's not like you send a person over, you get $1, but like 2 people out of the 100 may buy a $50 product, totaling $100. So on average, across 100 people, you make $1 per person. Does that make sense? So that way, it gives you a good point to aim for. Also, if you're using paid ads, if you choose to use paid advertising like Meta ads, Google ads, whatever, you know that if you're earning $1 per subscriber, you can pay up to $1 to acquire that new subscriber and still make a profit or break even. Whereas if you're paying more than $1 to acquire every new lead, you know you're going to make a loss, right? And of course, if you have multiple offers, you add them all together, and then we're starting to get more advanced here. So let's not do that. Let's just rein it back in a little bit. But you need to make sure that the money that you're making from your offers or promoting them is equal to or more than what's costing you to acquire them. And we'll get into this in more detail shortly as well. So it's not just about if it looks good, it's about the math, about the data, and about whether it actually converts well or sells well, okay? Now, James, you might be thinking, what about being an affiliate, right? What about being an affiliate? Well, there are so many reasons that being an affiliate totally sucks. And this may contradict what you've heard right now, even a few weeks ago from somebody else promoting an affiliate marketing product or something like that, right? Because people love that easy approach. They love that thought of just sending traffic to an offer and then making money without anything behind it. And it's just a promotion. It's not a long-term venture, right? It's just a cross your fingers, hope for the best kind of thing. And if you've tried any form of affiliate marketing, you will know this no longer works, right? But here is my favorite reasons why affiliate marketing sucks, coming from somebody who used to do this. So only getting paid a percentage of each sale you make. So with an affiliate offer, you may get paid 50% or less on the front end offer, the main offer, and then any upgrades you may not get paid on at all. Or sometimes you'll get paid 100% on the front end offer, which is great. And then every single customer you refer gets added to the JV Zoo or ClickBank mailing list, and they get bombarded with spam from all these other promotions, which drops your open rates because your emails now get lost in their cluttered inboxes due to all of these companies, right? Alternatively, you may get 100% commissions on the front end offer and then 50% or more on the upsells. And then what about after that? You do not get paid on anything after that at all. You get zero. So you only get paid a percentage of each sale you make. You are not able to edit the sales process, or what I call the profit process, based on my methodology. You can't edit anything. If it doesn't align with what you believe or what your experience has told you, you cannot change it. For example, if it says something on a sales page like, this is the best way to increase your metabolism, for example, right? Or manifest your dream life, or to fix your marriage, whatever your niche is, we'll get into in a sec. That may not relate to you in any kind of way. It may not be applicable. It may not align with what you believe in your experience. Also, you are kind of relying on their business to stick around. If you create an entirely profitable venture around their offer, they change it, they remove it, they swap it for something else, you've lost your entire venture overnight. Do you want to be in that position? It sucks. And I know, because this happened to me 3 times. At that point, I just thought, screw it, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm selling my own stuff. And that's why it was infinitely better. Also, positioning somebody else as the expert instead of yourself. Imagine about all the goodwill you could generate, all of the authority status you would generate if you were positioning yourself as the expert instead of somebody else. Over time, that compounds, and eventually people will be like, James, give me an offer, I'll buy it. Whatever it is, I trust you fully and I'll just buy it, right? Because I know your stuff is good. And we get that all the time. And that's why our stuff sells out so quickly all the time, because we have built this compounding authority status, this know, like, and trust factor, right? Also, their products may teach something that contradicts your advice or values. And this happened to me, right? When I was starting out, I was buying a few products from my competitors to find out what they were saying in the products before I promoted them as an affiliate. And I realized that the stuff they were teaching was just BS. It just didn't align with what was real. It was just theory they'd found on Wikipedia or something that I could imagine. And it just wasn't good stuff. And I would hate to promote that kind of low quality stuff to my subscribers, my audience, because I cherish them. And I want to nurture them to a point where, again, they feel like they trust every word I say. And that's kind of difficult to do when the stuff you're relaying them over to just isn't really good. You know, it doesn't align with what's actually my experience, at least. So also, finally, we have not getting paid on high ticket back-end offers. So it may be a surprise to you, it may not be, but when you're buying a $7 product, that is not where they're making the profits. They are making the profit on the back end with the upgrades, the upsells, but also higher ticket stuff like a $5,000 coaching program, $20,000 service, whatever, even 100 grand. I know people out there selling 100 grand services. So you will not get paid on any of that stuff. You are simply a cog in their machine, or a gear in their machine. You're just feeding their system with more new customers so they can market to those customers to make more profit on the back end. Does that make sense? Awesome. And many, many more as well. There's so many of them, but those are the main 6, I guess, that I wanted to go through on this session. So hopefully, if you were thinking about doing affiliate marketing, this has given you a bit of a reality check. Again, this is just from my own experience. Ultimately, if affiliate marketing was doing so great, I would be doing it myself, and I'm not. So I'm doing what's working best for me and all of my students over the last 17 plus years. Now, in terms of that offer, you might be thinking, James, what do I need for that? Well, when done correctly, you will only need to have one good offer to make 6+ figures per year online. That's it. No need to unnecessarily overcomplicate things. So some people think, James, I have all these ideas. I want to have my own book. I want to have a $27 video course. I want to have this. I want to have one-on-one consulting. I want to have all these other things. And they create this like Frankenstein funnel of all of these different offers. And they wonder why they never get anything off the ground, and they feel so overwhelmed. That would overwhelm anybody, including myself. If I had all that stuff to create before making a dime, I would probably give up about 10% of the way in. So you don't need to have anything complicated like that. Just one good offer is all it takes when you do this correctly, okay? But simply creating this offer is not enough, okay? Your offer must have a compelling, unique methodology. Okay, unique methodology. Now, this is what I've coined because it is the process used to achieve the promised end result. What is that? What is that process used to achieve the promised end result? So, for example, it's not just lose weight. This product will show you how to lose weight or how to lose 10 pounds or whatever, right? What is the process and how is that different to what everyone else is teaching? So with mine, for example, my low ticket offer, the prosperity formula, I found out what worked well for me and I put a name to that. You know, I named it the prosperity formula. That is my unique methodology because I discovered that people like to have things that are unique and it increases sales. Whereas when you don't do this, people will look at your offer and think, I've seen this before. Or worse, they will Google it. They'll see something like how to run ads on Facebook, and they'll just go to Google or nowadays ChatGPT and they say how to run Facebook ads or how to start advertising with Facebook. And they've got the answer. They don't need to buy your course because you haven't made anything unique about the methodology, right? Whereas when something is completely unique to you, you've developed it in a way where, the content would be great if it was unique, but it doesn't need to be. But it's at least perceived to be unique because you've named it or you've structured it in a way where it identifies as being unique in the marketplace. Does that make sense? So that is super important. Now, when done correctly, the marketing process becomes easy because the concept of the product sells itself. You don't need to manipulate people through good copywriting, good sales calls, or anything like that at all. We don't do sales calls for low-ticket stuff anyway, but some people think that's a good thing to do wildly. I don't know why. But that makes it difficult. When you don't have something unique about the offer, you have to rely on copywriting, which only goes so far. It's like going from 0% compelling nature to 50% rather than going from 50% to 100% with good copywriting, So it kind of sells itself. Even if the copywriting sucks, you will still make sales when you do this correctly. Does this make sense so far? I always, again, like to check midway through just so I know I'm not losing people, answer any questions you guys may have. Again, I'm here to help you, so let me know if I can find my cursor here. There it is. Let's have a look. So lots of yeses, lots of good values coming in. Cool. Hearing okay, awesome, makes sense, awesome. It's tough to read all this actually. So again, apologies if I'm not answering any specific questions. I'm not ignoring you on purpose. It's just there's a lot here and I need to get through a lot as well. We've already been going 50 minutes as well. So yeah, AT says, what price should this one-time offer be? So it depends on your market. That's a great question, by the way. It depends on your market. So typically, I like this to be $27. This is my starting point. Then we'll test different price points depending on the market. For a low-ticket sales process, this is, of course, applying to. So if you are in a market which is B2B, for example, this would be more, you'd be better off doing mid-ticket or high-ticket stuff like $1,000, $2,000. But for a business-to-consumer or business-to-customer or B2C niche or industry, this should be preferably a starting point of $27. And again, the value of the thing that you're selling should match what you're pricing it at. Don't sell a book with 4 pages for $27, right? That is unethical. It is a scam. Instead, do something where you're pricing it, which is a good price for what they're getting. They think, wow, this is a ton of value for what they're charging. So again, this does vary depending on many different factors, but I like to start at 27. Does that make sense? So good, James. I'm still listening at 10:51 in Ireland. Thank you, Derek. I really appreciate the kind words. Awesome stuff. Cool. All right, so let's get back into this stuff. So step 5 out of 7 is the follow-up. So only a very small percentage of people will buy on impulse. As you may know yourself, you may not buy everything you see in your inbox every single day, and that's just human nature. So you need to follow up with people using your email list, hence why we built it in the first place, using the free content and following up with them over time, and using your email list until they know, like, and trust you, using a strategic and logical campaign, okay? So we're not just bombarding them with a bunch of emails which are illogical, in random order, not really following on from each other. We need to think about this strategically. Like, what are the things they need to know, feel, and believe to purchase from you? Okay? What are the things they need to know, feel, and believe to purchase from you? So that could be, for example, that things are not working with the things they're doing right now. Or it could be their life sucks. Or like they're tired of struggling with their problem. For example, if it's insomnia, for example, like you may need to convince them that the situation is not going to resolve on its own. Like they need to do something to resolve that insomnia, and so on, right? So strategic and logical campaign, and again, we'll get into this in a sec. This should involve a welcome sequence, the pre-selling follow-up for the free content and paid offer, then a few profit cycles, which is, if you're not familiar with this concept, which I coined a while ago, I think probably around 15 years ago, maybe now. This is free content, promotion. Okay, so free content promotion. So you give them something of value for free. It could be a short PDF report, which you could have even created using AI. Don't tell them I said that, but you can customize it and make it your own, of course. Don't just copy and paste it and be done with it. Make sure that it's actually valuable. But you give them something for free: PDF, video tutorial, audio interview, whatever. Then you promote an offer which is paid, which is related to that free content. So for example, let's say you give them some free content about how to crochet the best hat for your cat, right? Let's imagine you want to crochet some amazing hats for your cats, right? So that would be a free video tutorial, and then the promotion could be for an offer around how to crochet all types of outfits for your animals, right? And then it could be a follow-up for that promotion. Again, this is just an example. This applies to every single niche. The concept has been proven time and time again in over 30 plus different niches across our 50 plus clients over the Ultimate Done For You service, and also thousands of clients inside our coaching programs over the years. But this is essentially an example of what you can expect. So it's like, if you give them some free content around dog training, it would be illogical to promote something around how to look after your cat as a paid offer, because they've not told you that or shown to you that they have a cat, right? So it's a complete disconnect. If you are talking about manifestation in your free content, you would not promote something about improving your IQ, because that would be a totally different niche, right? A totally different topic altogether. So you would not make any sales. It should the free content pre-sells everything, and it gets them in a frame of mind where they feel like they're receptive to the paid offer when that lands on their desk, So welcome sequence, again, welcoming to them to your email list. Then you're pre-selling for the free content. Hey, did you check out the free content? Then the paid offer. It's like, hey, now you've seen the free content. The next logical step is this paid thing, right? Then a few profit cycles of different offers after that. And you can elongate this follow-up sequence for as long as you like. You could have one lasting 2, 3, 6, 12 months or more. We personally have one that lasts for 9 months right now, and we're going to be extending it pretty soon as well. So when somebody joins our email list today, they're going to get 9 months worth of great valuable content, our best stuff, along with our best promotions that have been proven time and time again, automatically. We don't need to touch them until 9 months comes along, and then they're on our broadcast list, which we're going to be emailing them newsletter stuff about anyway, right? So the follow-up is super important. Can you see how much more profitable that would be, rather than just having them join your email list and doing nothing with them? Big difference. And that's why I'm here teaching this stuff to you and making all this money, and our students are making all this money. And that's why you may be struggling. Maybe you don't have a good follow-up sequence. You don't know what to write. You don't know what to put in here. You don't even know where to start. So this is a key part of the puzzle. Does that make sense? Awesome. I'll ask again after this next one as well. So the upsell process is step 6. Okay, now nobody gets rich from selling $7 products. The real profit is earned from the upsell and downsell process, i.e., would you like fries with that? Just like McDonald's does every single time you order from them. Like, can we interest you in this other special today? Or is this everything for your order? Or would you like to upgrade your meal for an extra $1 or something like that, right? Most companies who do very well have some kind of upgrade or upsell process. So that means that upsells are not evil. It's just that many people in the internet marketing or make money online industry use them incorrectly. They will have like 5 bajillion upsells. So when you buy the $7 offer, you're basically stuck on your laptop for the next 24 hours saying no thank you to all these different offers, right? So they do it horribly. And this is why a majority of them don't make many sales at all. They don't make much profit at all. And they're working full-time jobs. And that's why I do this full-time and have done for over 17 years, because they do it badly, and they try and manipulate people into buying instead of just giving them what they actually want, right? But when used correctly, they should give the customer easier, faster, or better results. That is key. I'll say that again. Give the customer easier results, faster results, or better results in some way, and make them feel happy and comfortable about the sales process. Okay, they should not feel like, oh, this is a pain in the ass, right? It should be, I'm so glad they offered this to me because it saves me so much time and effort. And that's what we do in ours as well. It's like, oh, thank you, James. This has enabled me to make my first $1,000 because it's saving them time and effort. And if they didn't have this, then they'd have to do that work themselves, right? So that's a great way of thinking about it. And by the way that they feel comfortable about the sales process is not by giving them 12 upsells. It's about by giving them maximum of 3. 3 is the magic number, but also the number of upsells that you should have and not go beyond. So we go through this in our coaching programs and products in more detail, but you essentially want to have 3 where it starts with something at a kind of a slightly increased price to what they just purchased, and then the next one, the middle one, the second out of the 3, would be something at a bit of a higher price but nothing crazy, and the third one would be roughly 10 times the price or more of the original product. So we have this kind of medium priced offer, which is the third upsell, where if somebody takes that, it increases your profit in a big way. And we'll talk about this shortly as well, but I want to give you some kind of context to this. Now, your offer should always have an upsell process if you are interested in making a profit. Otherwise, you are only going to be getting around 10% of the results you could be getting. If you don't have an upsell process, or the offer you're promoting doesn't have one, then you are only getting 10%. Like you're missing out on 90% of what you should be making, and that's why you're not making a profit if you're using paid ads. That's why you're not seeing the $10,000 a month you're looking for. That's why everyone thinks it's a scam, because they haven't done what's required to get the results. Okay, easy as that. Now, in terms of the power of upsells, we actually did a split test a while ago for a $37 offer here, and here's the actual data from this. So we actually tested having an upsell with where they had to fill in the order form all over again, name, email, phone number, whatever, card details, versus not having a one-click upsell. Not having a one-click upsell, they had to fill in all the details all over again, versus a one-click upsell where they click a button and the order goes through the same payment method they used initially. So they say, yes, James, I want to add this to my order. One click, bam, done. Versus, yes, James, I want to add this to my order. Name, email, phone number, credit card information, submit. And by that point, they're like, oh, I'm so bored of doing this again, right? So by having a one-click upsell, we made an extra $333 on just 9 sales. That was it. So massive difference. And if you, again, like money, I would recommend that you have upsells. This is just one of the 3, right? But this is just an example of how powerful they can be. It's not just like a marginal thing, like it might make you an extra $2 here, $5 here. It will make or break your success online. Okay? It is that important. Now, step 7 here, the 7th step. Does this all make sense so far? Please let me know in the chat box. Just want to make sure that we're on track here. Any questions you may have about anything I've gone through so far, let me know. I will happily go through them, a couple of them now, before moving on to the next step. But the traffic is the next step here. So let me come out of here to check the chat box. Where is the chat box? Where's my mouse cursor? There it is. We're back. So, makes sense. Going well. Perfect. Loving it. Awesome. Good stuff. Okay, awesome. Again, any questions that come in, I'll try and answer them either now or later on, depending on the question and how much time we have. Okay, so the traffic as well. Going well, says Genesis as well. Perfect. Thank you for all the kind words as well. I really appreciate it when you guys say thank you. It just makes this job a whole lot more fun as well, right? So thank you for being awesome. Step 7 is the traffic. Okay, so this is something that most people think, oh, if only I had all the traffic in the world, then I'd be successful. No, because you've been missing out the other 6 steps, right? It's like you go to the gym and you lift weights, but you don't eat enough protein. It's like it's all pointless, right? Or you eat a ton of protein, but you don't go to the gym. It's like you're missing out the majority of the work. So traffic is important, but it's not like a deal breaker in terms of if you don't have those other things, it's not going to work out for you, no matter how much traffic you have. Which is why we've covered those other 6 first. Okay, this is really the icing on the cake. Okay. So after you have these elements in place, you need to receive high quality, targeted traffic to your squeeze page, which we went through earlier. You know, that free content, like enter your email address in here to get this free thing. You just need to send people to that page again and again and again and again. That's how you build your audience. That's how you make sales. You just send people through that process again and again and again, as this will turn your visitors into subscribers, their subscribers into sales when they see the paid offer, and sales into upsell sales at a higher price point, and long-term customers. They'll just keep buying from you again and again because they've had a good experience, that you provide value for, that you have actually helped them. God forbid, what a novel concept in this world nowadays. So high quality, targeted traffic, okay? Not just anybody who will have you, but you need to be attracting the right types of people. However, it's not about the quantity, but instead you should be focusing on the quality. The quality is everything. I would much rather have 100 buyers, people who have seen my stuff before, checking out my offers, compared to like 10,000 people who've never heard of me before. Okay. Now, my most effective traffic sources of all time, revealing this here to you loud and clear, are Meta ads, which used to be called Facebook ads, but Meta bought, they rebranded to include Facebook and Instagram. So Meta ads are what we use like 90% of the time because it's so passive. It's like you press go and the automated algorithm does everything for you, and you acquire new prospects, and you don't really need to touch it that much unless you're spending about $1,000 a day, at which point you need multiple creatives and other things as well. But usually you can just start at $20 a day, nothing major, pause it whenever you run out of money, or you need a bit of a break, or you need to work on something. You can pause it whenever you want to and just get traffic on demand. It's incredible. No more sweat equity, right? Shout outs are great as well. This includes social media stuff, where you're paying somebody to promote your stuff on social media, either via a story or a post. And then there's of course the content marketing as well on social media, where you're just kind of grinding free content on social media. You're posting once or twice a day a new short video on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, or even all of them, and you're simply helping people for free, building the audience that way, and they click on the link in your bio to go through to your squeeze page, where they join your email list. Then you have them on social media and your email list, so it typically increases your results. But if you're not using paid ads, and you want to do something for free, that's your option as well. Social media is the best low-hanging fruit option right now. Anybody can post something. It does not take a while to get results like you would think. You can start getting results the same day, which is incredible. Again, when you do the right things. Okay, if you post stuff in the wrong way, if it's not compelling to them, if you're not doing the right things, you won't get the results. Okay, awesome. So with that in mind, you have a couple of options in terms of getting traffic: paid ads, free stuff, mix of the in between, or all of them, right? You could be doing all of them if you want to, but quality is the main important thing, because you need to be attracting the right types of people to buy. Now, a quick question here: what would making over $10,000 a month from your own online venture mean for you specifically? Like you specifically. Okay. Well, what I didn't expect here was getting new sales notifications while you're enjoying time with your family, on, watching TV, on vacation. That's me in the Maldives for my honeymoon with my wife Michelle. I actually paid off the vacation for the Maldives equivalent, at least, while I was there. So that was incredibly, I guess people would say it's out of reach or expensive or whatever compared to most vacations, but I paid that off before I'd even left. And I wasn't working. So that's the power of digital products. At the beach, at the spa, some funny places I've made sales, like in the bathroom, on the toilet, with friends, at a restaurant, you name it, like sales all the time. And I want that for you too. Again, I'm trying to give you this motivation here to implement this stuff, not just give you the advice, but also have you do the work, right? Now, how incredible would that be? How incredible would it be for you to be making these sales all times of day, not having to worry about money anymore, because it's just flowing to you effortlessly because of the stuff you've set up, because of you following this process. But there is a problem, as you all know, right? It's not as easy as I make it sound. Just doing this stuff isn't enough, right? You need to be making sure that you do it right. So it's not just enough to have some traffic, just do meta ads. It's not that simple, right? Just put a squeeze page online. But then what do you put on the squeeze page? Or what do you say in the free content? What do you say in the paid offer? What do you have on the sales page for the paid offer, right? You need to make sure it's compelling to your target audience. And this brings me into my retirement thing now, right? So how do I know? Well, for the past 5 years, I've been implementing these 7 steps for our clients inside our premium Ultimate Done For You service. We've made our clients their first 10K, their first 50K, their first 100K and beyond as a part of that service because I've been building their businesses from scratch for them, right? However, despite guaranteeing a 100K net profit with a legally binding agreement and our clients having a 100% success rate when they did the few small tasks we asked of them, the investment for the service ranges from 12K to 20K US dollars depending on the things that they needed help with, depending on what their vision for the business was, which may be out of reach for some people, right? And maybe you've experienced this yourself in the past. Maybe you've seen this opportunity in your inbox and you've thought, this will be incredible, but I just can't do it right now, right? And that's okay. And our profit margin is pretty low on this service. After paying our team of experts, after the time it takes to do the work, we're trading time and effort for money, manual labor, in fact, which means a lot of work for little reward, aside from the incredibly glowing testimonials we've received, along with the recognition we've gained as well, right? So the profit margin is quite low considering how much work we do for people. So we actually come away with like less than a 10% profit on this. Sometimes we even make a loss on the project if the client is particularly difficult, let's say. And that leads me nicely onto the third thing, where it can be stressful at times. Some days it is like a roller coaster, and I did not start this business to be stressing out over things not being done, or like being overwhelmed with tasks to do, or being pulled in all these different directions by my team, and so on and so on. And it isn't really something I particularly enjoy in that environment of being in an agency, right? Doing the work for people, and so on and so on. And of course, I do it. There are some clients I love working with, incredible. We have the best clients overall, I think, but sometimes you work with some people and they're quite difficult. They think they know better than you, and it's like, dude, why did you pay me, right? So that isn't something I particularly enjoy. And also, people have been lacking an understanding of the process we've been doing for them because we've been doing everything for them. They haven't been through that themselves, so they don't understand how everything works, and they don't have the context of why we're doing things, or how to overcome issues, because they've never had to, right? Whereas when you do things yourself, you gain that knowledge, you gain that experience and confidence, because you think, wow, I've just done this, and you get much better results because of it. You know how to do it moving forward. And fifth and finally, I have learned that I much prefer coaching beginners over working with people, doing work for them. I super love coaching. If you can't already tell how enthusiastic I've been on this training, right? So they get the results and they learn the process along the way. It's a win-win. Rather than them being in the service and we do the work for them, they have no idea how we did it, and they're kind of back to square one, but with the results. And we have to coach them anyway at that point anyway, right? So I much prefer coaching beginners. That just gets me alive, right? It really fires me up in a good way. So I'd like to announce my retirement. Pretty soon, due to all the reasons I just explained, those 5 reasons I just went through, I will be retiring the Ultimate Done For You service, part of our business, forever. And this is not a marketing ploy. This is not me trying to get some sort of promotion out there. It is literally the facts. We are retired. Well, I am retiring from the agency or done for you side of our business forever. Like, you will not find me doing any work in the Ultimate Done For You service for new clients. Now, this is going to mark a total retirement from the agency part of my business altogether. Okay. Important. If you are an existing client on this webinar somehow, we did not send this to you. Maybe you've got 2 email addresses in our system or something, but if you are an existing client, we will continue to work with our existing customers and clients, and the projects will remain unaffected. So you don't need to worry about me disappearing or phasing anything out for you. It's just that after we close the doors, which is in a few weeks from now, we won't be taking on any new projects at all to replace the clients who graduate from the service. So think of it like we're closing the doors, everyone else is unaffected, they will graduate, and we just won't be replacing them. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're just phasing things out gradually, and the service will completely disappear as soon as the last client has graduated. Okay, and again, this is happening in a few weeks. It is not a case of like next year or something. We want to do this pretty soon due to the next thing I'll be sharing with you in just a few minutes. Okay, so this will also simplify my business and free up more of my time so I can work on things I enjoy a lot more, and so I can enjoy and continue enjoying and living that dream lifestyle I've created since 2008. My personal dream is to work a 3-day work week. That would be my ideal dream, and then eventually this is my retirement plan, okay, which I'll be sharing with you shortly. I don't really want to do that agency stuff for the rest of my life, okay? Now, do you want to know what will replace this? Let me know in the chat box right now. If you're interested, if you're a little bit intrigued, like James, I was kind of interested in that, but I wasn't able to swing it for one reason or another. Or maybe you were sitting on the fence and you were thinking, well, I'm waiting for the perfect time. You can still join before it closes, but would you want to know what replaces this? Let me know in the chat box right now. I'll go ahead and have a look. Lots of yeses. Okay, perfect. Perfect sense. And it's 3 minutes past midnight for me, says Amir. Wow. Wow, so awesome. Lots of yeses. Awesome. I always like to ask, because this has been going on for, a while now in terms of the free training, and I respect you guys' time. So very curious. Awesome. So as well, this is something I've been working on for many, many months, which you will see as well. So what comes next? Well, here we go. So in anticipation for this moment, over the last 14 months, I've been working on this in secrecy on my retirement plan. Okay, and again, I'm structuring my life now in the way that it's going to be when I'm old and grey and losing my hair more than I already am. So I will be revealing all the secrets I've learned, going from 0 to 100k in net profit for over 50 different clients across 30 different niches. And it's something which will change our industry forever. I don't say that lightly. It is literally the be-all and end-all, the final boss of this industry. Like, if everyone had this thing, they would have no choice but to succeed, okay? Now, if you are tired of feeling overwhelmed and frustrated about what to do, if you are ready to break the cycle of being stuck in the same position as you were last year and the year before that and the year before that every year, and you think this year is going to be different, you set New Year's resolutions, and guess what? We still struggle with the same things. If you want to break that cycle, and if you hate falling for loopholes or the next get-rich-quick scheme or gimmick, and just wish that somebody would give you a proven path from zero, from the very beginning of having zero clue about anything, as if you were an alien dropped on this earth, to making over $10,000 per month online in one place with no BS, no hype or anything like that, and nothing held back, as if you were in the room with me, looking over my shoulder as I built a business live on screen, without the confusion or getting stuck halfway with nobody to help you, which can often happen. This is for you. Okay, introducing a founding members special for our brand new, completely created from brand new coaching program, the 0 to 10K coaching program. Okay, it does what the logo and title of the program says. Okay, I will personally coach you to build and grow your own 10K plus per month online income stream myself. I will personally coach you through that process, 0 to 10K. So what is the outcome of this coaching program? Well, you will have your own helpful low ticket digital product, nothing high ticket, nothing difficult to sell, but something which sells passively to generate over $10,000 per month in net profit. Anybody can say, I'm making over $10,000 a month, but they're paying $12,000 for traffic, right? It's all about the net profit, which you can do in your spare time or to replace your 9 to 5. Now, for context here, I'd say probably 90% or more of our coaching clients, of our the For You service clients, of our customers have a full-time job. They have family commitments, they have social commitments, health issues, you name it. They have a very busy life. So this is structured specifically for you, if that's something you're interested in, right? Also, the freedom to work or not work your own hours from anywhere. So this means that you can be making sales, as I mentioned before, on vacation, spending time with your kids or family or whatever else, right? And also the ability to help hundreds or even thousands of people around the world at once in an automated way, not needing to trade your time and effort for money. You can help as many people as you want to. because they're digital products, right? Also, the freedom to make sales without any time-consuming one-on-one consulting or exhausting freelancing or agency work, which is again what we're no longer doing in the next few weeks. The sheer joy to see notifications pop up on your phone daily, showing new sales you've made passively, even when you aren't working. So you could be working your day job if you want to, continue doing that if you want to, if you love it, that's okay. But you would get home and look at your phone and be like, oh, cool, I've just made more than I did at my day job, right? How awesome would that feeling be? And I know that when I look at my phone after this live free training, you know, I'm going to have sales that I've made while presenting this to you and helping you out. So this coaching program is split into 3 main sections if you're interested. So we have the main curriculum, and we have the coaching, and we have done for you resources. So we're not expecting you to do anything yourself. It's mostly provided for you. Okay, so 3 main sections: main curriculum, coaching, done for you resources. Now, let's start by covering the main coaching curriculum, then we'll go through the other 2 shortly after that. Now, this main curriculum is structured in a way where we understand you have other commitments. We're not going to say to you, this is going to require like 3 hours a day to build your business. Nobody wants that, right? It's going to be structured in a way where it's like 5 to 15 minute videos and coaching segments where you can slot them in whenever you have a spare 5 to 10 minutes, and that way you can make progress even if you're super busy, right? So the most profitable thing you will ever do. Most programs out there, usually courses, and I'm looking at you courses, all those ones which just dump a bunch of content on you as if you signed up for an encyclopedia. It's like, boom, good luck, right? And then you're left wondering, you know, you have no idea how this applies to your situation specifically. You're like, well, where do I start? I'm here, but this is referencing something completely different, right? And there's no connection between you and your situation. So this only leaves you feeling overwhelmed and confused about what you should do first, after that, and so on. And I know, because that's exactly what happened to me when I first got started. I was buying ebook after ebook, program after program, and they would all talk about different things, and they'd all be about one tiny piece of the puzzle, and I'd have to try and piece together everything in a way that did not make sense and would not get results, because it was this weird Frankenstein process that just didn't fit together well and didn't work out. So I have fixed that. Inside the 100% new, professionally recorded 0 to 10K coaching program main curriculum, and I say professional recorded because we had a studio, we had 4K resolution, I'm on camera the whole time, so it's like properly done. I'll be walking you through the exact steps to go from absolute zero with nothing online whatsoever, no clue where to start, no clue what your niche should be, no clue what a digital product is or what it should include, nothing whatsoever, again as if you were just dropped on this earth like an alien, to making over $10,000 plus per month online with low ticket digital products, all step by step in a do this, then do that, then click here, then click this kind of way, shown live on screen with nothing left out and no assumptions about what you already know. Sigh of relief, please, because sometimes you join these things and it's like, well, let's go into a squeeze page or let's go into a hybrid download page, and you're like, wait, what the heck even is this, right? And you're left confused and overwhelmed and you're thinking, oh, this is way above me, and you get stuck. This is not that. This is with no assumptions about what you already know, as I believe every program should have been until now, right? And also with practical action steps at the end of each coaching video, so you know exactly what to do to get results. It's not just, here's a bunch of theory, good luck. It's, here's everything you need to do, step by step by step on screen. Just go ahead and do it, right? This way, you simply need to do what I've just shown you to do on the screen. How incredible is that? It's just follow along, just watch the video, click where I click, and you're done. No guesswork, no uncertainty, just ridiculously specific steps to follow. More specifically, here is the full curriculum if you would like to know, covering exactly what we're going to be going through together if this is something you decide you want to become a part of. Now, in the first stage, we're going to be covering the foundations to your online venture, getting you to think like an entrepreneur rather than a prospect or a customer. Okay, so video 1 is the introduction and overview, where I give you, some foundational stuff about what digital products are, how they work, and so on and so on. Then we go through the big picture of why people buy digital products and how money is made online. Then we go through how to become unstoppable so your mindset doesn't get in your own way. And then we attract profit, creating something where you can move towards it instead of just saying, I want to become successful. What does that even mean? What does success even look like to you? We'll go through that in that coaching video. Then we'll reverse engineer that vision into practical steps, moving backwards from the end goal to where you are right now, so you know what to do next instead of just guessing and hoping for the best. Then we'll choose your perfect niche. So I'll give you all the best niches out there, and you can choose from those, or I will show you exactly how to look for yourself based on your own wants, your needs, your hobbies, your likes, your dislikes, and so on and so on. We'll come up with the best niche for you. And if you already have a few ideas, we can validate those ideas and make sure they're profitable before you get started. Okay, so we'll make sure that it will actually work for you and basically guarantee your success. Okay. Now, we'll then go through your profit GPS, which is to create a business plan for your online venture instead of just guessing and hoping for the best. We'll structure everything so you know exactly what to do with each step of this process. And then we'll brand yourself as that expert, as the authority figure, even if you are not an expert, even if you have no clue what you're doing, you're starting from absolute scratch. We can do certain things to get people to know, like, and trust you just without saying, I'm an expert. So this is not about fake it until you make it. This is not about being an imposter. This is about presenting what you already are, like yourself, your origin story, how you got started, and a few other things as well we'll go through in this module. Stage 2 is all about creating that first digital product, okay? So this is for you if you don't know what to say, if you don't feel like you have the knowledge to create these products, if you don't know what to include in the product, and so on. We'll start by creating the the basics of that product, and then we'll go through idea generation and validation. Then we'll plan your product. Then we'll go through that unique methodology strategy I covered earlier in this live free training to stand out from what everyone else is already doing, so your customers will find your products compelling even if you have bad copywriting, and they will buy it regardless, right? And also the 3-part formula for a compelling digital product name, how to name your product in a way that is actually compelling to people. And then we'll go through some purchase triggers, things you can embed inside of your products to get people to buy it, and also some optional pre-order strategy stuff as well, how you can get paid before you've even created the product, which is awesome. And some equipment recommendations, including low budget and pro, along with creating engaging slides. If you want to do some form of video product, I'll show you how to create those slides, which maximize retention to get people to actually go through the course and finish it. If you want to create a video course, if not, you don't need to do this. And also how to record videos, again, if you want to record videos, how to overcome camera shyness, if that's something, again, you want to do. And then also biggest content creation mistakes to avoid, to make sure that you don't create a crappy product. Basically, make sure that people actually want to buy it and have a good experience and gain value from it. Then, of course, if you do record any videos, you will need to get them edited. You can do this for free, and also there's a paid method as well, depending on which one you prefer. And also how to create bonus resources for your product as well, and how to increase perceived value, how to make people think, wow, I would have paid $200 for this instead of $27, right? Then how to create the members area for that specific product so your customers have their own login information, and so on and so on. Basically, how to deliver that product to them passively and automatically. Even if it's 2 a.m., you're not there manually sending out login details. It's all done automatically for you. And stage 3 is the automated profit process to sell that digital product. Okay, so again, this is all automated in a way that makes sales for you passively, whatever time of day it is, or whatever you're up to. Okay, and this includes your profit process, what I mentioned earlier on, the exact web pages in the exact order, the exact things to say on these pages to get somebody who's never heard of you before, who's a complete stranger, to buy your stuff. Then how to set up your website and copywriting secrets for that website as well. And by the website, I don't mean it needs to be something which is super complicated. It's specifically only about 3 or 4 pages. So nothing complicated. You don't need to know anything technical. You just simply do the bare basics, the bare bones of this, and this will work incredibly well. And this is intentional. We don't like to cover or to go into too techie stuff because it holds a lot of people back, and we've kept that in mind through the entire process. Okay, so you don't need to be a tech guru for this. We've had people who are like 80 something years old do this without any issues. Okay, so if they can do it, you can too. Okay, now we've also got creating your sales page as well, how to actually persuade those people to buy your stuff. Then getting paid, how do you receive the sales themselves into your bank account, and how do you create the order forms for people to purchase, and what do you say on those order forms to get them to pull that trigger and purchase your stuff. How to create your order confirmation page, what do you say on that page after they've purchased, and setting up your email list, and also creating your lead magnets, the free content we spoke about earlier on in this free training. What do you say inside there? How do you create it yourself, or use AI, or how do you get it created for you, or acquire the rights to somebody else's and use that instead, right? And we actually shortcut all that stuff for you, which we'll get to in a second. Creating your hybrid download page as well, all the stuff related to delivering that free content to you, to your customers, to your prospects at this point. Creating your OTO page. So if you're not familiar, an OTO stands for one-time offer. So when people sign up for your email list, it's like, hey, would you like to check out this paid offer before they get to the thing they've signed up for? And that will increase your sales massively because it's more of an impulse buy. It's like going to the grocery store and there being chewing gum and chocolates next to the cashier, right? It's a similar thing to that, right? Then we've also got setting up your squeeze page as well. How do you set up that page in 10 minutes or less? How do you automate the product's delivery? How do you make sure that when they sign up for this free thing, they get it straight away? And also, how do you test your profit process as well, making sure that nothing breaks, and what do you do if something is not working as it should? It's all covered in here. And also your profit process so far, how that looks as well. After that, we have stage 4, which is the follow-up we just went through, which is a super critical part of this. You will know exactly what to put in this follow-up sequence because we'll give you the emails and we'll show you how to write them yourself for the future as well. Starting with the foundations of this and then the masterclass of exactly how everything works. Again, just me revealing all of my secrets over the last 17 plus years, making over $100 million for our coaching clients collectively. How to write persuasive email copy from scratch, assuming you've never written a word of persuasive copy in your life. Your new subscriber sequence, how to welcome those new subscribers in a way that gets them to buy your stuff, but also retains them on your email list and nurtures them over time. How to find profitable secondary offers to promote as well, which are affiliate offers. Of course, the thing that you're selling initially is your own offer. That way nobody can take it away from you, but you can use those profit cycles I went through earlier in this session to sell affiliate offers on the back end if that's something you want to do to increase your profit. And then there's 3-part profit cycles. How do you actually structure them in a way where it's compelling to them, but also what you say in those emails themselves? Long-term nurturing over time with your newsletter as well. How do you keep them engaged and get them to buy stuff over time? And stage 5 is about maximizing your profit at this point as well, like how to multiply the amount of money you're earning, because by this point you'll be making a couple $100 a day, right, at this point. So it's not like you need to wait till the final stage to get to the profit. At this point, you're going to be making a couple $100 a day. But at this point, it's like, well, how do we grow that? How do we get to that 10K plus a month? Here's how. So we multiply that profit, we create your first upsell, we create your second upsell, and then we go through the power of higher price points to overcome any mental blocks you may have about charging anything more than $100, because sometimes we have those due to upbringing, due to maybe our family was poor when we were growing up and we have limiting beliefs around money. I will fix all those limiting beliefs around money right now so you will feel like you deserve it, rather than, I don't know why somebody would pay me that amount of money. Those are all limiting beliefs we will fix right here. Then we'll go through that mid-ticket idea generation. How do you come up with ideas for that thing at a higher price point? And then how do you deliver that higher price point thing? Then how do we link everything together in a way that speaks to each other and is passive and automated through the entire process? Then how do we integrate that mid-ticket offer in a way where you could sell that as a main offer, like on the back end of your business? If people don't buy the front end or main offer, the low price stuff, you could sell this as well separately. Also, how do we track and get analytics set up so you know what's working and what's not and how to improve things? And then we go into generating buyer traffic as well. Okay, so 57 is about the mindset behind profitable traffic generation, how to avoid that stuff where it's like, I want to get as much traffic as I can, or social media takes too long, and all those mindset things which hold us all back, and also how to make sure that you always make a profit based on math. Okay, the math behind making a profit. Also, meta ads, specifically how to start getting traffic with meta ads and how to grow the campaign to 6 figures per year. That's over $10,000 a month, just using meta ads. So this is a very long coaching video, I won't lie, but this is everything I've learned over the last probably 12 years of running meta ads. Back then it was called Facebook ads, but everything I've learned. Shout outs as well, we went through earlier on. Then we'll start going into the social media stuff. If you want to use free methods, you don't have the budget for paid ads, you don't want to use paid ads for some reason, social self-assessment will start off the social media side of things, like how do you identify your strengths and your weaknesses so we know which platform you'll be better off on. Which one will get the best results for you. Then we'll go through how the social media algorithms work. How do you post something and have it go viral to get you good results? Then how do we master Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube? Those are the big 3 we're going to be focusing on if you want to use free methods. Then I'll show you exactly how to grow your audience rapidly as soon as the same day. I'll reveal all of my secrets I've learned from coaching others to do this. Me personally, I prefer Facebook or meta ads, but we've coached, lots and lots of coaching clients who've made videos which are totaling like millions of views per video consistently using the stuff I've shared here. Content frameworks as well. What do you say in the content? How do you structure the videos? Things like that. And then how do you make sure the content is actually engaging to people so it goes viral? And then I give you an audience growth plan for 30 days. On day 1, post this. Day 2, post this. Day 3, post this, and so on for 30 days to get your first 10,000 new followers from scratch, from zero, in your first 30 days. Okay, then also how to nurture your audience, then how to automate your social media as well, so you're not there posting new content every single day like some people do. Then use analytics to maximize your growth on social media as well, again if that's something you want to do moving forward. Now, stage 7 out of 8 here, we're getting into more advanced stuff. We want to go from, say, 5k a month to 10k or 20k or more per month, right? This is all about analyzing and improving. We will start by analyzing your results so far, looking at the low-hanging fruit, what's working, what's not, and so on. Then we'll go through the CRO process to multiply your results. How do we take what is currently not working and fix it so it is working and eliminates any bottlenecks in the process? Then we improve your opt-in rate, then we improve your one-time offer, then your hybrid download page, then your main sales page, then your order form, basically every single part of this profit process, including your email list and also your social media content and your customer support, to be more efficient, more effective, and get you much better results. This is exactly how we go from 5k or even $100 a month to 10k plus a month, because we're making very small tweaks and changes to get you much better results overall. Does that make sense? Awesome. So the final stage is the scaling system. How do we go beyond $10,000 a month? Well, we'll start by scaling your first 100k to your first 100k net profit. So maybe you've made your first like 12k or 20k by this point. How do you go from that point to your first 100k total, right? Then we'll get into the scaling mindset, the things you need to be thinking and believing and knowing to be true to go from where you currently are to that 100k. Then scaling your traffic. Then scaling your results overall in terms of your conversion rates. Then money management as well, how to make sure you don't lose everything, or like how much should you be reinvesting into the business, how much should you be putting aside for your own wage, how do you pay people in a way that doesn't create bottlenecks, and so on and so on. And an average working week, how that looks at this point when you're scaling the company from like 5k a month to 10k plus a month. And finally, we have living the dream and your next steps moving forward. So we have 89 coaching videos with every single step of the process. Nothing left out, not like, oh, they'll know that, right? It's like everything is covered. So you don't need to interpret or figure anything out. It's just given to you. And you're like, just follow this, and that's done, right? You'll get the result. So in summary, you have 8 stages here with the foundations. We then create the digital product. Then we automate the profit process. Then we automate the follow-up. Then we maximize your profit. Then we generate the buyer traffic. And then we analyze and improve everything to get better results. And then we scale from there to your first 100k in net profit from this online venture. Okay, now next let's cover the shorter thing to go through, which is the done for you resources. As the name suggests, we have done 90% of this work for you. Okay, one of the great things we've picked up from the Ultimate Done For You service is we've got so many templates that we've just given to our clients and worked from for their projects, that we're giving these same templates to you. Okay. So if you ever learned to do something, but when it was actually time to do it, you had no idea what to write, right? You were just sitting there looking at a blinking cursor on the page. Well, we have all been there. Fortunately, we have provided fill-in-the-blanks templates for every part of the process. And yes, this also includes your own digital product. So you don't need to create your own digital product. I'll give you a way, we'll actually show you how to create one live on screen if you prefer to create your own. If you want to, you have something in mind, and so on and so on. But I will also show you how to use other people's best-selling products as your own, and how to create them in just 20 to 30 minutes or less using AI. In a way that does not sound robotic, does not have a low value amount of content. It's actually valuable stuff, which it doesn't actually sound like it's been written by AI. Don't forget, we do this stuff for our clients every single day, and we know what prompts to use to have it come out in a way where it sounds natural and valuable. Or even if failing all that, you don't want to do any of that, we have professional human writers who can create them for you if you are feeling fancy. Okay. This means you will never have a blank mind or have to look at a daunting flashing cursor ever again. Okay, so if you're thinking, I don't know what to put into a digital product, you don't need to worry about that, because not only is the structure and the framework of the products given to you inside the coaching program, but also there are ways where you can just take somebody else's and use that instead, legally, of course, right? We're not talking about fraud or intellectual property mismanagement or whatever else, right? It's using stuff legally. You have the license to be able to use those things, okay? So here's just a small selection of these resources. So we have my best kept secret for entering new markets, my niche profit library, which contains over 100 beginner-friendly profitable niches to choose from. So if you have no idea what niche to go into, I'll give you a list of 100 of them, and based on profitability, based on like how easy they are to get into for a complete beginner, anything you should know about them, and basically all the research for all of these 100 different niches. Also worksheets to find your ideal prospects, spreadsheets, calculators, digital products to use, proven AI prompts for any type of content which produces valuable human-sounding content, copywriting, web pages, marketing pages, ad copy if you choose to use paid ads, social media content, again if you choose to use social media, presentation slides, or anything else you need. That's all given to you in a template format. Simply fill in the blanks. It's like blank, and then you put your name, and then something else, and then you put something else about yourself, right? So there's not really much thinking involved, and of course you can change them based on what you want to say, but that will cut down like 90% of your workload, okay? So just ask us if there's anything that you want but isn't here. We will create that template for you. Okay, so think of it like a tailored solution. Like if there's anything you need help with, we'll just give you a template for that. Okay, then finally, let's cover my favorite part, which is the coaching aspect of this. Okay, this is where everything is super valuable, because you're going to be working with me personally through the entire process. Remember, it is a coaching program. It is not a course, it's a coaching program where I will coach you through every single step and answer any questions you may have, and so on and so on. Now, when doing anything new, it can sometimes feel confusing or daunting, and it's all too common to get stuck if you're doing it alone with trial and error, right? So we've fixed that for you too. You will have direct access to me personally, not some random teenager fresh out of college, but me personally and the rest of my team of experts. Again, not just customer service reps who are glorified, people who are positioned as an expert, but they're actually customer service. No, these are actual experts, actual coaches who work alongside me every single day for anything you need. Okay, so you will never feel like you don't know what to do, because we will be coaching you through everything. Simply reach out with anything you need in our dedicated community for the program, specifically for this program, and you will get a response with a detailed answer or even a video showing you what to click on or whatever else within just a few working hours. Okay. So you will never feel lost or stuck along the way. Now, this includes any questions you may have about the coaching and or any action steps inside the main curriculum, any advice based on your specific situation, skill set, and so on, any professional opinions on your ideas, coming up with ideas for you. Like if you don't know, if you don't have any ideas, we'll come up with the ideas for you, and you can choose from them. Any tough love you may need if you are struggling with something because you're standing in your own way, we can just give it to you straight and say, hey, this is happening because XYZ, fix it, and we'll give you the accountability for that as well when you need it to ensure your success, of course, not just being mean for mean's sake, but to make sure you get the results in a nice, friendly way, of course. And reviewing and improving web pages as well. If you say, like, James, this isn't working right now, what would you suggest I do? I'll tell you. I'll say, okay, if this was me, here's what I would do. Thing number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, And anything else you would like to run by us as well. Like literally anything that you are not sure about or you're lacking in some way, we are always happy to help you. Again, it is a two-way process here, not just here's a bunch of stuff, good luck. It is a two-way communication process. Okay, this means no more falling for loopholes, so you can finally get off the endless hamster wheel and actually follow a proven system from beginning to the very end. And also everything you need to consistently earn over $10,000 per month online in one place with no upsells. I'm not going to sell you this and then have, something else after this where you must purchase it to get the best result. Like literally everything. It's a one-stop shop if you think of it that way. Okay. We have provided everything to shortcut your success. So you need to do the minimum amount of effort possible, shortcutting the amount of work you need to do. Whether you're working with us or not, you need to do the work, but at least this way you don't need to figure it out for yourself. And also we give you 90% of the template and the work done for you in template format, right? And you will never get stuck because I am personally here in your corner helping you as if I was in the room with you. Okay. Now you are guaranteed to earn over $10,000 per month with our 0 to 10K coaching program as well, or you profit anyway. And this is a great thing that I love to do with all of our offers, but especially this one, and here's why. You are 100% covered by our no-brainer guarantee. So if you are thinking, this might not work, it might work for me, whatever, it's guaranteed. Now, this is no theory. Everything inside our coaching program has been learned through real-world experience since 2008, refined and optimized over the years, and is generating sales every single day right now, okay? Despite this, we wanted to provide a safety net for you in case you are a little doubtful if you're concerned about the worst case scenario. Sometimes our brains do that, right? Like, what is the worst possible thing that can happen? And we spiral from there, right? So let's fix that. If you follow the already proven steps in the coaching program and you don't make at least $10,000 in net profit per month for 3 consecutive months, okay, not just a one-time thing and you're done, but 3 consecutive months, totaling, if you do the math on that, that's over $30,000. You have a choice. You can either, A, my team of experts and I will work with you one-on-one for free, doing any relevant work for you, basically taking over your business and doing it for you until it has, and this is usually a $20,000 fee, or send you double your investment in this coaching program back, which we'll get to very shortly, okay? And it's much less than you think as well. Whichever you prefer as well. So you choose. We have no say in this. Like if you get to that point, you can prove to us you've done the work and you haven't gotten the result for some reason, you have the choice between us working with you for free, doing the work for you, or you get double your money back. Okay, this means our coaching program is legally guaranteed to work for you no matter your current skill level, expertise, or situation. You will get the result because it's guaranteed with a legally binding agreement, which you'll see very shortly as well. Okay, and you sign this agreement before you enroll, so it's not like you enroll and then find something afterwards. Like to enroll, you sign the agreement. Okay, if that's something you want. Now you're probably thinking, James, that sounds incredible. It's going to save me going from one thing to the next, jumping around and getting nowhere. But what's the investment, right? Well, here it is. Considering this coaching program contains all of my secrets from the last 17 plus years of helping my clients collectively make over $100 million online, it has been very tough to put a price tag on it that's accessible for everyone. I thought initially like $100, that's way too small for the amount of value in here, but equally I don't want to charge $20,000 for this, right? Where is the mouse cursor? There it is. Plus, if you've been in this industry for a while, you will know it's pretty standard for coaches to charge $5,000 to $10,000 or more for these types of coaching programs. But I have a welcome surprise for you as a founding member to this 100% new coaching program, because of course it is a brand new program. You would be one of the first inside of it. For the next 3 days until Friday at midnight, in my time, San Diego, the total investment for everything, the 8 professionally created modules of coaching, all the done for you resources, the personal coaching inside the community, and a whole lot more to make you a legally guaranteed $10,000 in net profit for 3 consecutive months, totaling $30,000, plus $10,000 in net profit per month thereafter. Of course, not just the initial 3 months, but afterwards you will have that business making over $10,000 a month for you as well, is a one-time payment of just $1,997 for lifetime access. No monthly fees, no royalties, no cuts from your sales, nothing like that. Just one payment, one-time fee of just $19.97 for lifetime access. Okay, I was going to charge a monthly fee for this because the coaching is ongoing, but I thought, you know what, founding member, you get this for a one-time price. Okay. Now, here's why the investment is so low. You might be thinking, James, that sounds like a lot of stuff for just that low price. Well, number one, this is a pre-order price as a founding member. Okay, right now the coaching program is roughly 80% finished, but we are still putting some finishing touches to it. There's some resources that we need to do. There's some demos of, click here, click that. We need to record, but just literally finishing up the last few things. And by securing your place now, before it's released, you are ready for its full release within the next 4 to 6 weeks. So we're not talking like a 6-month thing here, just 4 to 6 weeks, and that's it. You are getting in for a whopping $3,000 less than the $5,000 price it will be when we launch. Okay, so just by waiting 4 to 6 weeks, you're saving $3,000, which is, I think, personally, an incredible deal. Okay. Now, second, this is not a requirement, but we would love your feedback on anything inside the coaching program. For example, if a coaching video is missing a resource that we've added and then it's not saved it for some reason, please let us know. Okay, and we will add it within the next few working hours. So there might be a few things here and there because it's a brand new program, and this is where the price is a little bit lower as well in terms of the launch price, because we might have something added, but then we forget something else, So please let us know if there's anything missing, and we'll add whatever you feel needs to be added. Okay, so you create the program, the best program for you. Okay, and when you're making the 10K plus per month, we would love you to provide a testimonial sharing your results. Again, this is not a requirement, but we would love to help more people around the world change their life for the better after being persuaded by your testimonial. So we would love you to say, hey, James, thank you so much for making me over $10,000 a month. At first, I was apprehensive, maybe a little bit scared, maybe, a little bit on the fence, but I'm so glad I took the leap of faith because I was able to make, my lifestyle, I was able to get the best lifestyle I've ever had and provide for my family in a way that I've never been able to before. And it makes me feel incredible. So thank you so much. Something like that, done. And that would be incredible, right? We would love that. Now, if this is something you are interested in, the circle's a little bit weird there, but it's this is the founding member pre-order special. Again, instead of the $5,000 launch price, which is going to happen in roughly 4 to 6 weeks for a limited time only, this is just $19.97 one time for lifetime access. It is the lowest price guaranteed, and this is at digitalprosperity.com/founder. I'm going to go ahead and move that thing down. I don't know where that's moved. There it is. So there we go. So lowest price guaranteed, that is at digitalprosperity.com/founder. Okay. /founder. That is live now. If you want to secure your place for this, go to that URL in your browser, digitalprosperity.com/founder. I will see if I can get my assistant to put that in the chat box as well. That is awesome. So here's what to do next if this is something that you are interested in. When you visit that link, you will see a short form asking where we should send our new client agreement. Okay, and that just basically has everything I've just told you in writing and secures your guarantee as well. So once submitted, it will be sent to you automatically, even if it's 2 a.m. So I've set up some fancy automation here to make sure that whatever time zone you are in right now, whenever you're watching this, this will go out to you within the next few minutes. The email will come from Dropbox Sign and will look something like this. It will have a big blue button that says review and sign. Click that button. It will open up the agreement. You can read it at your leisure and then sign it at the bottom. You can then read it for yourself in your own time. It does not contain anything weird, anything designed to trip you up or catch you out. It just has everything I've explained to you in writing, as promised in this webinar. Okay. Now, it will also have a section at the very bottom for the payment, which we can talk about now as well, including an option for wire transfer, which we prefer if possible, as it saves us a bunch of fees. If not, debit or credit card is totally fine. Just put that in the boxes, even splitting it across multiple cards if necessary. We have spaces in that agreement for up to 3 separate cards if you want to put a certain amount on one card, another amount on another one, and so on and so on. Okay, so up to 3 different cards if you need to. Otherwise, one card is fine, or we prefer wire transfer. Totally your choice. Okay, if you do want to use, if you go back here, you will see that we have Klarna and Afterpay and Affirm. If you want to use any of those, Klarna will split up the payment into, I believe, 12 or 24 monthly payments with interest, which is not much considering the outcome of this coaching program, but just to make you aware. And I think Affirm does a similar thing as well, and Afterpay as well, but you can split this up into multiple payments if you want to on a payment plan using Klarna or Afterpay. If this is you, please just check the box for the credit card option and then email us. Just say, hey James, I've just signed this. Could you send me the link and I'll send that over to you if that's something you want. Okay. So yeah, if you're looking for that, I can send that over to you. And after that, as soon as we receive your signed agreement and payment, I will create your members area account for the dedicated 0 to 10K coaching program area and then send your login details via email within a few working hours. Now, of course, this makes sure that you are ready to get started as soon as it's live within 4 to 6 weeks. It's not like you sign up now and are immediately able to access all of the content. There will be a coming soon page in the members area for the next 4 to 6 weeks. That's the whole point of it being discounted so much, because it's a pre-order, and as soon as it's released, you'll get a notification via email, which I think, you'll get a notification via email. And also, if you don't respond to the email, I'll give you a quick phone call as well, just to confirm, hey, your access has been granted and it's now available to you. We might even release some of the modules early. So if you feel like you're really excited to get started, just let us know. We can actually release a couple of them early on as well if you prefer. Okay. Now, time is ticking. This special introductory price is for the next 3 days only. So we don't have a restriction on how many people, but we have a restriction on how many days until Friday at midnight. Okay. After this point, it will be obviously the 5K launch price, as we love rewarding action takers and want to ensure our founding members get the best deal possible, which is one of the reasons we don't give a replay for this, because we want to reward those action takers. Okay. So after we have enrolled our founding members at this special price, we won't be offering this price again. This is not marketing scarcity. It is literally the definition of a founding member, right? You're not going to be a founding member if we've already launched, right? It's no longer a pre-order if it's already live. So speaking as one entrepreneur to another as well, I'd prefer to charge a higher price on launch day to maximize my return on investment from all my time and effort spent creating this program over the last 14 months. So be quick. It is a lot of value here for such a low price considering the outcome as well. Again, if you are interested, that is the link over there. If you just go to digitalperspective.com/founder, that will redirect you over to that area, okay, to where you can get that agreement. Now, having me coach you to 10K plus per month online overcomes, ignore the Ultimate Done For You stuff at the top, watching several years go by while your dreams of having a profitable online venture get swept up in everyday life. Let me get rid of that. There we go. That's how you know this is live, right? And everyday life. Also the overwhelm of trying to piece everything together yourself. Also the fear of doing something wrong and not seeing the results that you want. And creating a low quality venture your customers end up hating, which is not fun. Also getting stuck halfway through the process without an expert to help you. And kicking your dream life down the line, waiting for the perfect time in your always busy schedule to get started, which of course never happens because there's never a perfect time. The only time you can start is right now, right? Instead, you will finally get off the I don't have time hamster wheel. Look at this multitasking here, right? So you can start seeing the results and lifestyle that you want. No longer have to spend weeks or months of time, effort, overwhelm, and frustration figuring out yourself how to make over $10,000 a month online yourself through trial and error. And of course, you will never have to buy another course, coaching program, or service ever again, because everything is in one place and you have lifetime access to me personally as your coach, right? So this is the founding member special right now. I'll be going through the chat box questions very soon, so bear with me 1 second. But that is the link right here. Again, that is at digitalprosperity.com/founder. That will direct you over to a short form where you'll get the agreement where you can lock in this launch price. After you've signed that agreement, I'll go ahead and process the payment in a secure server, and then of course give you access to the members area so you have that ready for when we are live in 4 to 6 weeks. Now, if you're looking for some kind of results here before we get through the chat box questions here, what can you expect from going through this process? Well, here's what you can look forward to right now.
It's not sold as an overnight success or a plan on steroids. However, I will tell you, in just a matter of months, I have amassed almost 1,200 customers and over $56,000 US dollars in sales. We have since launched 4 other courses, and I am so excited to see the results. The bottom line, James Francis and his team at Digital Prosperity are the real deal. Don't wait another moment of missed opportunity. You'll be so thankful that you went for it. I certainly am glad that I did.
So I have converted 9 sales in the last 5 days. And that has generated a profit of 14,400 Australian dollars.
Amazing.
For us this week.
This week, that's incredible. Going from like struggling in zero to 14K in a week, profit as well.
Yeah.
James and his teaching, his products helped me to make my first 6 figures online by selling products to other people. So I thank you very much, James, for that, because this was a major breakthrough for me. Even now, I still use the same strategies. We have still contact with James on a daily basis.
Anybody watching this video, he's one of the good guys. He actually gives a damn about his customers, right? He'll go above and beyond to help somebody accomplish a goal, or he'll provide you with all the training you could potentially need when it comes to accomplishing a goal. And that's really important. I mean, I made my first my first $1,500 in 30 days because of his original program. And look, guys, what he teaches works. Just follow what he teaches, right? Just do exactly what he says. You'll be surprised at the results you'll actually get in your business, all right?
So just about 2 weeks in, I've had my first $100 a day. And then a month in, I had my first $300 a day. 5 months in, we did $5,200. And just last month, we did over $12,450. And it's all due to James.
Hello, this is a testimonial for James Francis. My name is Dan King, and I recently sold a career transition coaching and recruiting practice for lawyers, and James was extremely helpful to me. I learned a ton from him. He is an absolute master when it comes to using data to build funnels and online lead generation and sales systems. Very much a systems thinker. If you need someone to help you understand which data matters and which data doesn't, and to help you use that data in order to build the kinds of systems that can scale a company online, James is a fantastic choice. I highly recommend him. Wishing you the absolute best, and hire James. Take care. Bye.
Oh, that video always chokes me up a little bit. It's just really nice to see people say nice things about you, right? But then it just goes on, right? We have tons of these types of testimonials over the years. We've got Belinda making over $452,000. She emailed me a bunch of stuff, like a huge essay saying about her results, but this is just a small selection of it we put into a graphic. $452,000. I'm so excited about the future, knowing that $1 million in sales is not far away. Thank you, James. Jason has now become one of the world's best advertising experts meta ads mainly. But now, he started with my coaching at about $10,000 a month using what he helped me to develop. Todd made over $41,500 on the price of one of my courses, my coaching programs in the past, which was incredible. And if you're wondering about niches, what would I possibly create a digital product around? Here's just a couple of them. We have mindfulness and meditation, weight loss and diets, copywriting, internet marketing, self-development, career coaching, law of attraction or manifestation, survival, financial advice, spirituality, homesteading, back pain, college scholarships, relationships, women empowerment, sales or selling, accent reduction, and a whole lot more. This is just a very small selection of all of the different niches that our clients have come from. And we've got tons more, like crochet, art, art history, and a few other things as well. Just incredibly diverse amount of topics. And as long as there's an outcome, this will work for you. Like, as long as you're helping somebody to achieve an outcome, whatever it is, no matter how small it is, no matter how big the outcome is, as long as there's a desired outcome, this will work for you. Okay. And again, we can help you identify what that niche market would be inside the coaching program. Okay, that's the whole point. So if you are interested, one last time here, that is the link. If that video, those testimonials have persuaded you, you thought, you know what, this is it. This is the kick I need, right, to get things going. So digitalprosperity.com/founder. Go to there, type in your name, email, phone number, tell us where to send the agreement basically, and then we'll send the agreement to you automatically in the next 2 to 3 minutes with our automated system. And then you can go through that in your own time. Just keep in mind that we will be cancelling any unsigned agreements within the next few days, just because, of course, the deadline will be expiring on Friday. Okay, awesome. So at this point, we have a ton of questions in the chat box. So before we get through the last final part of this session, let me go through the chat box right now. Can we have the link here, please? Yeah, I'll type that in right here. So let me put that in the box here. I did ask my assistant to do it, but I'm not sure if it got lost in the chat somewhere. So founder, there we go. Perfect. So I just sent it to host and panelist instead. There we go. Let me put this to everyone. There we go. Now you can see it. The link doesn't load in Chrome. So yep. So that is the link. It should take you to a page with the form on it. If it doesn't load, just please send me an email. You can respond to any of the I'll give you the email address on screen shortly as well, actually. But if it doesn't load for you for some reason, I don't know why it wouldn't. I've tested it in Chrome. I use Chrome myself. I use Internet Explorer. You might have a pop-up blocker set up or something, or some third-party blocking software or antivirus, whatever, stopping it. But if you still can't find it, just email me, and then I'll send you the agreement manually, so you don't need to go ahead and request that. But yeah, email me at support@digitalprosperity.com, exactly as you see on screen right there, but support@digitalprosperity.com. Okay, I'll give you the email address on screen in a sec. But right now you might be wondering, you might think, well, I've got a few questions, James, could you answer them? I'm going to go through literally every question we've ever had. No, I'm joking, but like a few of the main ones that we've had, which are quite common, right? So James, now isn't a great time. I've got a health issue, I've got family issues, I've got work's busy right now. I mean, let's face it, when isn't work busy, right? But can I join at the lower investment and start later? So yes, yeah, of course, the whole point of this is a pre-order. You don't need to start as soon as we're live, right? You can start whenever you want to. By joining now, you secure that lower price for the lifetime access. It's lifetime access. You can join whenever you want to. You can get started whenever you want to. The only thing is, if you join after Friday at midnight, then you won't get the lower price. You would have to join at the 5K launch price, so that's why it's a pre-order. That's why it's the benefit of joining now. I don't have a niche or topic yet. Should I figure that out first? The answer is no, because that's the whole point of one of the first modules in this program, right? It's figuring that out for you inside the program. So it's not like you'll have to do any thinking around like what ideas could I possibly go into. Like we give you the framework to come up with those great ideas, and then you can even ask us, hey James, here's a list of all the potential topics. What would you recommend I go into? And we can sort them out for you, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are our list of priorities, right? Or we could say, you could say to us, James, I have no clue what to go into, and we'll go back and forth on that and coach you through that process of finding out what that incredible niche for you would be. That's all covered inside the service, inside the program, right? Do I need a website? Again, you would need a website, but it is not something technical. It is not something difficult to do. And it's only about 4 or 5 pages in terms of the main website. Just an About Me page where it's a short bio about yourself, a Contact Me page, which basically goes over to your support desk, which will set up with you, a few other things as well, so nothing crazy. You don't even need to do blogging or anything like that. I think that's a kind of outdated strategy anyway. So yes, you need a website. It's kind of difficult to be online without being online, so a website allows you to be online, right? So are there any additional costs? Great question. We get asked quite a lot. The only ones which you would need to pay are whether you are working with us or not. And this would include things like a domain name, which is like $6, maybe $10 a year. Hosting account is like $20 a month US. What else? We've got ActiveCampaign, if you want to use that, which we recommend. It's like 14. I think it's $14 US a month. That's 14, not 40. So long story short, we recommend investing around $100 a month in terms of running the 6-figure a year business. That's obviously not a lot in terms of like what you invest and what you get out of it. I think most offline business owners would drop their jaw to the floor if they knew you were only spending $100 a month to make 6 figures a year, when their overheads are like $2,000 a month in rent, employees and stock and everything else, right? So it's kind of funny. Some people lack the context if they think it's expensive, $100 a month, but really it's basically nothing in terms of business. So just another important mindset thing to get over. But ultimately, you won't need a lot of those things until just before you launch anyway. So you can get started without spending anything. And then when you get to that point later in the program, you can invest in it then if you want to. Okay. With that said, if you don't have the budget for that, by the way, we do provide a bunch of free alternatives as well. So for example, if you don't want to use ClickFunnels, which we recommend, $97 a month, which is ClickFunnels Classic, we also give you templates for WordPress, which is free. So you don't need to worry about like, what if I get stuck because I can't afford something? Like we always give you a free alternative. Okay, we're kind of respectful on people's budgets that way. One of the reasons we do this pre-order. Do I need to set aside money for traffic? The answer is no, only if you want to. So we do recommend you use paid ads because it will get you faster results, but it's not required. A lot of our students will go with the free social media methods because it's free and doesn't require any paid ads. Some people will do both. It really is up to you. If you want to do that, that's okay. Do you take any royalties or a cut from the profit? No, it's your business. Like, we're just giving you the coaching. We don't take any royalties, any cuts, any intellectual property, anything like that. Like, you own everything you create inside the program, even the things we give to you. Maybe anything that we've built for you, like it's yours, right? You own all the copyright for that. Is there an upsell after this? I don't want to find out something is held back. No, the only upsell is at the very, very end of the program, video 89, where it's like, okay, so now you've got the 6-figure a year business. What do you do next? At that point, we'll give you an optional upgrade to a higher level, more advanced program, if that's something you want. Right? That's more of an advanced course, I guess. Which even then, it's not breaking the bank. Just something to be totally transparent here. But even then, it's very end, and only after you've made the 100K, I'm not tech savvy. Can I do this? Yes. So as I mentioned before, we've had people who are retired, of retirement age, go through this without any issues, because we've purposefully made it as super simple as possible, because we know that people struggle with tech. What happens after I make the guaranteed 10K net profit for 3 consecutive months? You remain a part of the program. You can have access for life. That doesn't go anywhere. We'll just give you the option to upgrade if that's something you want to do, if you want to continue growing things, or you can continue chatting inside the community with us if you want to. Okay, it's really up to you. Can I see the agreement before I enroll? Yes, that is the whole point of us sending it to you via the form, so you can read through it. There's nothing in there designed to catch you out. It's simply a matter of just laying down the expectations and solidifying the guarantee in writing as well. So you have everything in writing. So go ahead and go to the link and you'll be able to see that in your own time. Do you offer a payment plan? I've already gone through this. If you want to pay with Klarna, Affirm, or Afterpay, let me know and I can send you the link for those. We don't offer any kind of like any payment plan outside of those 3 services, just because it's kind of risky for us with this being a pre-order. You know, the whole point of this is because we launch in 4 to 6 weeks, and if it's already a very reduced price, and you know, if the payment plan elongates for like a couple of months, then it doesn't really make sense for us, you know. So those are the 3 which you could use if you want to. Can I chat with somebody on a Zoom call about this? Yes, if you want to chat with me personally on a Zoom call about anything in the curriculum, anything you've done so far, maybe you're sitting on the fence about this, that's totally okay, just let me know. I'll give you the link for that in just a sec as well. But if you are interested, go to that link right there on screen, circled in red very nicely there, digitalprosperity.com/founder. That will take you to the form, and it will load in pretty much any browser, unless you've got something like a JavaScript blocker or something set up like that. If you're using your phone, try your laptop. If you're using your laptop, try your phone. Whatever else, it should work. If you're serious about joining, but you need a few more days to move things around, or you want to schedule a Zoom call with me, that's okay. We can hold a spot for you until Friday. Just let us know by sending an email to support@digitalprosperity.com. Then we'll see what we can do to help you. Of course, if it's reasonable, like, hey James, you know, I don't get paid until Monday, that's okay. But if it's like, hey James, can I join in like 6 months from now, that would be a no, because that would defeat the whole point of being a pre-order. Just be ethical and reasonable, you know. We are willing to help you. Otherwise, please keep an eye on your email inbox and see how much time is left. I will be reminding you about the deadline just to make sure that you don't forget, but also to make sure you don't miss out on this as well, because I know this is important to a lot of people, and you know, we've got a lot of people asking questions about this, trying to get in. Remember, question time. If you do have any questions, I am presenting live right now. Ask me in the chat box. If you have any more private questions you don't want me to read out publicly, that's totally okay. You can chat with our friendly in-house customer success team. Simply open a support ticket at that link on screen right there. Just go ahead and type that into your browser, and then you can open a new support ticket, and we'll get back to you within 24 hours, often much sooner, within a few working hours, Monday through Friday. We can even set up a Zoom call if you prefer. Just apply anyway, and let us know via email, or open a support ticket. Say, hey James, just to let you know, I would like a Zoom call before we get started. Is that okay? And we can get started anyway, right? But yeah, let me know. I will go ahead and check the chat box right now. Terence has a question, one of many here. Can you add on to an existing website of another business? Yes. Great question. So we've had some clients and students in the past where they already have an established business, but they want to have digital products for that business as well. Maybe they're selling a service and they also want to sell digital products. They've used this to add that on as a secondary income source, or even a third income source or more, right? It's always good to have those multiple streams of income. So yes, you can. Let's see. So thanks for the great presentation, Sage Genesis. Thank you so much for the kind words. Really appreciate it. Awesome. Very curious. Excited to hear about it. Cool. All right. So it's bugging out a little bit here. It's not letting me scroll up here. So yeah, any questions, let me know. That's the end of the presentation. So last call for questions. We've been going for how long now? That is crazy, right? Let's have a look. Wow, it's like over 2 hours. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for attending. It's been a pleasure. But let me know if you have any final questions before we wrap this up. So I'm here to help you. Any questions? I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen here. Your chat box is blocking the screen share. There we go. Thanks, Trevor. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah. It's a long one, but yeah, hopefully you've found this valuable in terms of, you know, the value I've shared in terms of the 7 steps, along with the introduction stuff, which was motivational, and also justifying why it's important to listen to me. Like, I'm not just some random guy who's learned some theory and is then peddling that as his own stuff. Like, it's stuff which I do every single day, getting results from every single day. Always good to justify that stuff and know who you're learning from, in the same way that I wish I would have known who I was learning from when I was getting started. It would have saved me losing about 40k in bad investments over the years, because I didn't do my I didn't know who I was learning from before that. So always like to over deliver there. All good. So yeah, cool. So that's everything I can see in the chat box. It is bugging out a little bit. So if I didn't respond to your question for some reason, please let me know. Send me an email, open a support ticket at that link on screen right there. If you would prefer to email me over opening a support ticket for some reason, just change the first dot to an @ symbol. So it's support@digitalprosperity.com. Alternatively, you can open a support ticket at support.digitalprosperity.com in your browser, and we'll get back to you in a few working hours. But yeah, if you've stayed on this long, thank you so much for your loyalty. It's been a pleasure. If you've not said hi in the chat box, that is totally okay. I know it's not always about being public with things. If you do have any questions and you want to chat with me privately, behind the scenes, that's totally okay as well. Open a support ticket and I'll be happy to help. Otherwise, looking forward to starting this next chapter of my working life, I guess, moving into retirement here, moving away from the done for you manual labor stuff, and I want to move more in towards the coaching side of things like I used to a lot more. And we've been doing it since then. It's just been less of a focus for us, and I want to move more of the focus back onto that, or in fact all of the focus onto the coaching moving forward. So yeah, hopefully you found this valuable. Have a great rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye bye.